corruption charges against Alderman Ed Burke, but are unsure what form that ethics reform would actually take. During a Tribune editorial board forum yesterday, Toni Preckwinkle, LaShawn Ford, Willie Wilson, Gary Chico, and Bill Daley all said they favored a ban on outside income for aldermen. Preckwinkle herself was asked how to deal with corruption in city government.
I think the critical issue here, if we're going to prevent future Ed Burkes, is that we say that you cannot, if you're an elected official in Chicago, have outside employment. I never have.
Daley also suggested decreasing the size of city council. Candidate for Mayor Preckwinkle also plans to raise the city's minimum wage if she's elected. Nearly all of the candidates seeking the fifth floor office support a $15 an hour pay hike, except for former police superintendent Gary McCarthy. Chance the Rapper says he's providing financial support to Amara Inya in her request to become the next mayor of Chicago. The hip-hop artist donating $400,000 to her campaign yesterday. Civilian Police Office of Police Accountability in Chicago says it will not be releasing video or audio tapes of the November shooting at a hospital that left a police officer, a doctor, and a pharmacy resident and the suspected shooter dead. In a statement, COPA saying it's basing its decision on an exemption cited in the Illinois Freedom of Information Act. Federal prosecutors are receiving a 3-month extension to indict Chicago Alderman Ed Burke. Federal judge awarded the extension yesterday, giving prosecutors a May 3rd deadline to seek an indictment from a grand jury. Thousands of state of Illinois workers got a late Christmas present yesterday. They're about to get a raise on the backs of state taxpayers. Governor J.B. Pritzker used his first full day in office yesterday to sign an executive order, only backed by Democrats, that gives state employees step raises. Those are pay hikes simply based on longevity. Pritzker's not saying how much his order will cost taxpayers, but the governor's office says the order does not cover the hundreds of millions of dollars state workers allege that they are owed from when Bruce Rauner was governor. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb wants his state to pursue a new hate crimes law.
At heart, this has to do with people's dignity and how we treat one another. Standing strong against targeted violence motivated to instill fear against an entire group is the right thing to do.
That was one of the focuses of his third State of the State address last night. Specifically, he said the state needs a law that brings enhanced charges against those fueled by biases over religion or race. United Airlines reported Tuesday its fourth quarter profit slipped 20% due to higher fuel and labor costs, but its profit and revenue both beat analyst expectations. Shares of the Chicago-based airline rose in after-hours trading. Authorities are investigating a possible child abuse case in Aurora. Video posted on social media shows a woman dragging a 5-year-old boy by his hair inside the emergency area at Rush Copley Medical Center on Monday. The boy and another 2-year-old child are now staying with a relative. A juvenile is accused of driving a stolen car at the time of a 6-vehicle chain reaction crash that happened in Niles last fall. Police now say the 17-year-old has been charged with possession of a stolen motor vehicle. The young defendant has been remanded to Cook County Juvenile Court. A man admits to the killing of the cousin of NBA player Dwayne Wade in 2016. Darren Sorrells pleaded guilty yesterday to murder in the deadly shooting of Nikia Aldridge. The Las Vegas home of legendary Chicago mob enforcer Tony the Ant Spilotro is for sale this morning. Spilotro, who was portrayed by Joe Pesci in the 1995 film Casino, and his wife Nancy were the original owners of the single-story ranch-style home just east of the Las Vegas Strip. Seller David Stevens tells the Las Vegas Review-Journal that Spilotro was proud to have the biggest swimming pool in the neighborhood. Spilotro and his brother Michael, you may recall, were dropouts of Steinmetz High School. They were killed in 1986. Their bodies found in an Indiana cornfield. Lakers over the Bulls at Staples Center last night, 107-100. Bears losing more of their defensive staff to the Broncos. Defensive backs coach Ed Donatel has been hired by Denver as their defensive coordinator. College hoops last night. Notre Dame lost to number 15 North Carolina In the MAC, Northern Illinois defeated by Central Michigan. In the Valley, it was Loyola topping Valparaiso in a battle for first, 71-54. The news service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. Want to recharge when you travel for business, get a boost, and stay at La Quinta by Wyndham. You can charge 5 devices in room and recharge yourself with a pillow top mattress and a Brightside breakfast. Book now at lq.com and win at business. 5:09, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On Tuesday, January 29th, President Donald Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address to Congress, to the country, and to the world. And AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party. And you're invited. It's a taste of freedom. A State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Enjoy dinner and drinks with fellow AM 560 listeners as you watch the president's speech. Tickets start at just $64 and are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-597-0315. That's 800-597-0315. 800-597-0315. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Are you happy with what's looking back at you in the mirror? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we'd like to help you with that smile. Whether you're looking to fix 1 or 2 teeth or a whole smile makeover, we can take care of all your dental needs. We have a beautiful modern facility and a great staff. And most importantly, we love what we do. That's what sets us apart from other offices. Let's face it, a dental office is not everyone's favorite place. Whether you're 2 or 102, we make it fun and enjoyable. We perform all types of dentistry as well. Fillings, root canals, crowns, extractions, dentures, implants. We do most everything right in our office. And for you denture wearers, we have a full in-house denture lab and can perform repairs and relines while you wait. We can also talk about adding implants so your denture will snap into place or become screw retained. This is the closest option to natural teeth. We are conveniently located in Gurnee at the corner of Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. So make today the day you give us a call. 847-244-4000. That's 847-244-4000. Or visit us on the web at GurneeDDS.com. We look forward to seeing you, and remember, second opinions are always free. Excellence in dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
Whether it's a monthly challenge to meet your goals, a training program for your next race, or setting a new personal best, the Peloton bike will make you want to show up and keep climbing the live leaderboard year-round. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom.
5:12 and a check of the morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
In South Suburban Harvey this morning, police responding to reports of shooting on 150th and Dixie Highway. Some slick roads in northwest Indiana, northern Indiana, and southwest Michigan. Eastbound 94 at Union Pier Road. Crash blocking the right lane, and it's been there for a while. Holbrook fire officials are asking commuters to avoid 3rd Street and Center and Main after a multi-alarm fire. See delays on the inbound Bishop Ford Freeway after construction, but a 5-minute slowdown from Cottage Grove Burge. Ryan is okay inbound. Outbound there is work. 87th split, 3 left lanes. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
Times of clouds and sun today, high 32. For tonight, cloudy and a low 24. Clouds and flurries tomorrow, high 34. Cloudy on Friday with a high 30. 3 to 6 inches of snow on Saturday, high 26. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer. 34 at O'Hare, 35 along the lakefront, 33 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now.
on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella, Sunday mornings starting at 8.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So William Barr, President Trump's selection to be his next attorney general, testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee yesterday, and by all accounts, and unsurprisingly, afforded himself quite well, starting with his opening statement that beat a lot of Democrats to the punches they wanted to throw, for instance.
Now, let me address a few matters I know are on the minds of some of the members of this committee. First, I believe it is vitally important that the special counsel be allowed to complete his investigation. I have known Bob Mueller for 30 years. We worked closely together throughout my previous tenure at the Department of Justice. We've been friends since, and I have the utmost respect for Bob and his distinguished record of public service. And when he was named special counsel, I said his selection was good news, and that knowing him, I had confidence he would handle the matter properly, and I still have that confidence today. Given his public actions to date, I expect that the special counsel is well along in his investigation. At the same time, the president has been steadfast that he was not involved in any collusion with Russian attempts to interfere in the election. I believe it is in the best interest of everyone, the president, Congress, and the American people, that this matter be resolved by allowing the special counsel to complete his work. The country needs a credible resolution to these issues. And if confirmed, I will not permit partisan politics, personal interests, or any other improper consideration to interfere with this or any other investigation. I will follow the special counsel regulations scrupulously and in good faith, and on my watch, Bob will be allowed to finish his work.
And then he just walked out of the room.
Yeah, drop the mic first, right?
Really, that's all
Left
you
the
sort of
senator.
needed to say, and then you could be done with it. I mean, and look,
He's going to get bipartisan support. I mean, I thought he did a great job yesterday.
Potentially. I mean, normally that wouldn't be a question. In these times, you just never know. They may not be allowed to vote for anybody that's nominated by Donald Trump. But I mean, on the merits, you're absolutely right. This is not a close call, and it won't be a close call.
And he's done this before. He was, AG in the 90s, and he said, at one point yesterday that I watched that I liked was, he said, I've been here before. I was planning my retirement, so I'm not going to be bullied by anybody.
And I will not be bullied into doing anything I think is wrong by anybody, whether it be editorial boards or Congress or the president.
Yeah. That was the one part of the testimony that I didn't like, because I don't like when adults use the word bully. I'm being bullied. Everybody's being bullied. It's a word that doesn't mean anything anymore through overuse and misapplication. It's childish. Being bullied.
What about a witch hunt?
You're the Attorney General of the United States, or you were, and you're going to be. Stop talking like a teenage girl or boy in these days. So just that word should be stricken from the language because of its politicization.
Because it was used in a Gillette commercial?
Because of its politicization. Yeah. It's just absurd. But I go back to Mueller for a second. Does anybody disagree? Anybody disagree with what Barr said? Even if you find the Mueller investigation to be the proverbial witch hunt, that Mueller should be allowed and will be allowed to complete his investigation on his timeline, and then Barr will present what he can of the Mueller report for public consumption. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I don't really find that statement to be controversial, but I know that there are some who are so disgusted with the nature of this investigation and everything we learn day after day, month after month, now year after year, about what the FBI, Obama administration officials, intelligence agents were doing to to frankly undermine their own credibility and the credibility of the United States government in the process by targeting Trump for political reasons.
Well, what about that memo that he wrote back June that basically said it was fatally misconceived, the idea that a president could be charged with obstruction of justice for firing the FBI director? Did you make anything out of that?
He addressed that in his testimony, saying, look, the Constitution is silent on the president's discretion in these areas, but it's also understood that the rule of law enters into the equation, and that the president can't do things that are self-serving and contravention of the law. So, I don't think there was really much there. I mean, he's just too good to get tripped up by the likes of Kamala Harris. Alan Dershowitz essentially offered the same on Fox after Barr's testimony.
Well, it's a home run so far. I think the goal at this point is to get a unanimous committee vote. Even the Democrats who were critical and raised questions seem to be satisfied with his answers. The 18-page memo is a brilliant memo and is absolutely correct on the constitutional law. And he assured the members of the committee that although the Constitution gives the president the authority to fire Comey, to do whatever else the Constitution authorizes the president to do, that the president would, however, be violating his constitutional obligation to see that the laws are enforced if he acted in a self-serving way. So I think he's given all the right answers.
Yeah, and in regards, again, to the Mueller report, when asked, will you release it?
I am going to make as much information available as I can, consistent with the rules and regulations that are part of the special counsel regulation.
I mean, he's just not going. He's going to play it safe. He's in, a four-corner, pass the ball around the perimeter offense during his testimony. Because
is that the offense I should use now?
That you should use? I don't know, Dean Smith. What kind of talent do you have? Got to have good ball handlers.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
Yeah. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick question.
If your girls can handle the rock like Bill Barr can handle questions from United States senators,
then go for it.
Yeah. Four corners could
thanks. Thanks, Dan.
No shot clock, right?
No.
Not yet.
Just a running clock.
Vince in Waukegan.
Young girls.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Amy.
Hello.
Yeah, the only problem I have with the Mueller investigation really is that just like any other job in this country, anybody that's going in to punch the clock this morning, you have a time limit in which to complete that. And that's one thing that Mueller needs to have slapped on him is a time limit. They've been dragging this out for way too long.
Yeah, the only thing I would say to that, Vince, is, think about how frustrated you are with the Mueller investigation, me as well, many people. The longer it goes, and the longer it goes seemingly nowhere, and the more we learn in terms of the backstory, the more the credibility of the investigation and whatever he produces is undermined. If I was Mueller, I'd have a sense of urgency to complete this before any shred of credibility what I produce is lost. So, to some extent, the clock works against Mueller at this point, I think. But I appreciate your point. Thanks for the call, Vince.
What I learned yesterday, I didn't know that they were friends for 30 years, Mueller and William Barr. But I don't think that's going to affect anything. Everybody knows everybody in Washington.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's not you got to show me more to make a huge deal of that, especially in the context of the memo that he wrote and the positions that he's taken and his previous tenure as Attorney General. I mean, there's a lot.
I was expecting somebody to say, do you have his home phone number? Remember with Brett Kavanaugh, how they just hammered him on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go out to dinner? Do your wives know each other? Blah, blah, blah. None of that yesterday. It was very on the up and up.
Did you ever do a body shot off Bob Mueller's abdomen?
Did you guys ever go Cabo Wabo for spring break?
Jim in Crown Point. Hey, Jim.
Good morning.
Morning.
I kind of halfway think that Mueller was hoping that Trump would end the investigation because then they could assume anything. I want it to go all the way. I want them to show that these guys were totally off base and it went from being a Russian conspiracy to everything but a Russian conspiracy.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Jim. Thanks for the call. Mike in Plano.
Hey, good morning. My biggest thing with the Mueller probe is numerous civil liberties violations. Now, look, Paul Manafort's a bad guy. I don't like him, but to raid his house at 5 in the morning, intimidate his wife, ransack his house, and the only thing they took from there was stuff you could get via subpoena or public record, that's ridiculous. For a white-collar criminal, I mean, you thought he would have been a drug lord or something. And he's not the only one. You know, they're going after Roger Stone, several other associates that Trump either maybe didn't know or barely knew. A guy named Ted Malik was approached at the airport, and they detained him and took his phone. I mean, and liberals for years were a civil libertarian party, and now they're pro-police state.
Thanks for the call, Mike. I mean, the only thing I'd say is now you have an attorney general who's not recused from oversight. He will provide the oversight that Rod Rosenstein was to some indeterminate extent. And so perhaps we'll see some conduct reined in as Mueller moves towards the close of his investigation.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
As a listener to AM 560, I know that you've heard them, commercials for Balance of Nature. And after hearing all of those testimonials, some of you may be wondering, are those real? And does the product really work? Well, let me tell you, those testimonials are 100% real. I've met Dr. Howard. I've spent time with him and his family. Dr. Howard, the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. And he's shown me the emails. I listened to some voicemails that he gets every single day from real people who are living healthier lives because they've been taking Balance of Nature. Look, we're all busy, and very few of you are eating enough fruits and vegetables, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. It's real fruits and veggies in a capsule. It's packed with 30 fruits and vegetables picked at the peak of freshness, then flash dried and ground into a powder so it's easy to digest. And in a matter of days, you will start to notice a difference. So begin the new year by getting healthier with Balance of Nature. Get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Call this number, 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago for 35% off your first order of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer. A good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man, at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
When you hire a new employee, do you really know who you're hiring? What if you could do thorough research on potential employees and avoid future HR conflicts and trouble? It may sound like a daunting task, but with ETS Intelligence LLC, it's easy to get all the info on a potential hire. ETS is one of the leading private detective and security agencies in the U.S. Their client roster includes major law firms, insurance companies, high net worth individuals, and more. Our world can be a dangerous place to live and do business in. ETS Intelligence makes you safe by specializing in complex and high-tech investigations, background checks, computer forensics, surveillance, forensic accounting, and more. Let ETS Intelligence be the vetting intelligence agency for your company or business. They also provide personal security services. ETS Intelligence LLC, owned and operated by experienced active duty law enforcement. Call toll-free 800-230-7429. 800-230-7429.
AM 560, The Answer.
Tuesday, January 29th. When? Tuesday, January 29th. That's the day when President Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address, and we are throwing a party. And you're invited. Don't want to miss out on the party, right? We're calling it A Taste of Freedom, and it's presented by healthinsurancementors.com. We're holding it at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. The evening will feature dinner at 6:30, followed by the president's speech on the big screen at 8. And if you hurry, you can buy tickets to sit with Dan Proft. You can also sit with me. I'm selling better than you are right now. I have 3 seats left. You have 4 seats left. So if you hurry, you can buy tickets to sit with us to watch President Trump's State of the Union address. You want to know how to get involved?
5 seats for me. I mean, somebody can sit on my lap if they want.
That's right. This is how you do it. Go to 560theanswer.com/taste. Tickets start at just $64. And again, they can be purchased at 560theanswer.com/taste when it's sponsored in part by Storelock. And we will see you Tuesday, January 29th. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The teacher strike in L.A. prompts the Chicago Teachers Union to start rattling their saber for raises. 5% raise. Where's the money going to come from? The rich people at 5:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Outside, we have gray skies and 35 degrees. Looks like Sears will be staying in business for now. Sears Holding Chairman Eddie Lampert has reportedly prevailed in a bankruptcy auction for the department store chain. Sources telling CNBC this morning that Lampert has improved his takeover bid to $5.2 billion to make the deal, allowing the Hoffman Estates-based retailer to keep its stores open for now. A 26-day-long partial government shutdown is doing more harm to the nation's economy than earlier estimates indicated. That, according to the White House Council of Economic Advisors, saying the shutdown of 1/4 of the federal government is slashing more than 0.1% off the economy for every week it continues. Meantime, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says congressional Democrats' priorities are way out of whack. McConnell says Congress will work again today to try and reopen the government during the partial shutdown.
Yeah, we certainly will not be in recess next week if the government is still shut down.
We're watching developments in Kenya this morning where at least one American is among over a dozen killed in a terrorist attack on an upscale hotel in the capital city. U.S. State Department confirming that a U.S. citizen was killed but gave no other further details. Kenyan police say several gunmen opened fire in an assault at Nairobi's 14 Riverside Drive complex. The terrorist group carried out the attack with at least 4 armed men. A Brooklyn chef is dead. 2 others critically hurt overnight in a hammer attack. Samantha Randazzo owns a nearby business.
A couple of people, customers from the restaurant where it happened, had come in here. We let them in, and they said that a guy came in crazy with a hammer and just started hammering certain people, random people.
A hammer-wielding man burst into a Seaport buffet, attacking the owner, then heading to the buffet where he attacked the chef and a restaurant worker. Sports broadcaster Bob Costas, you may know that name, is leaving NBC after 4 decades with the network, telling the New York Post he still do a little bit of work for Major League Baseball. 2 Chicago police officers are recovering following a crash on the south side. It happened this morning early near 114th and Carpenter. Funeral services are set for the Illinois State Trooper who was hit and killed by a vehicle over the weekend. Visitation for Trooper Chris Lambert will be held tomorrow at Willow Creek Church in South Barrington. Chicago police are searching for a trio, including a woman accused of shoplifting alcohol and energy drinks from stores last month all over the city. In each incident, the suspects grabbed the drinks off the shelves and ran out of the businesses without paying. The last crime happened New Year's Eve in the 1800 block of West Van Buren. This morning, there is an Israeli recovery team searching Hungary's Danube River for the remains of Holocaust victims. An Israeli official saying that Hungary is giving permission and assistance so victims that may be in the river can be buried in accordance with Jewish rites. According to Israeli newspapers and the Holocaust Memorial Museum, nearly 600,000 Hungarian Jews were killed during the Holocaust, many along the banks of the Danube River. Lakers over the Bulls at Staples Center, 107-100. Blackhawks travel to New York to take on the Rangers tomorrow night. College hoops, Notre Dame lost to number 15 North Carolina. In the MAC, Northern Illinois beaten by Central Michigan in the Valley. Loyola topped Valparaiso. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is struggling with the new left.
Anderson Cooper last night sat down with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It's infuriating to hear this young woman talk about people not paying their fair share. And I'm not saying this to be a jerk. I promise I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You know who hasn't paid her fair share? Her.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
It's Dr. David Kolbaba. It's our winter survival kit for this cold and flu season. It's power-packed with natural ingredients, and unlike the flu shot, it's safe and effective. First, it's our Sunny C 1000. It's highly absorbable, and it does not suppress your body's natural killer cells like most other vitamin C supplements do. And when you purchase your first bottle of our Sunny C 1000, I promise to include scientific data to back it up. And I'll also include a vitamin C dosage chart for you to customize how much is best for you, whether you're fighting off a cold or flu or you want a preventative dose to keep you from getting a cold or flu. Sunny C 1000, it's easy on the stomach and it's essential in fighting illness. And when you order your Sunny C 1000 today, be sure to get more information on the rest of our winter survival kit. Call 800-794-1855. It's our Health Quest Radio hotline. And be sure to listen to Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11. But for now, that number again, 800-794-1855.
5:37, a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Some roads are slippery, especially in northern Indiana and southwest Michigan. There's a crash on eastbound 94 at Union Pier Road. Union Pier at the right lane. In Hobart, there was a multi-alarm fire overnight on 3rd Street, Center and Main. Drivers are asked to avoid that area. Edens is looking good. Kennedy as well right now. We see no delays yet on the Eisenhower as traffic starts to build. Inbound Stevenson, we're looking at a 2 or 3 minute delay from Cicero to Kedzie. Inbound Ryan, a 2-minute delay to downtown, starting around 18th Street. By Bishop Ford, just a 2-minute delay, Cottage Grove to the merge after earlier construction. The other expressways and tollways for now look good. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Clouds and sun, 32 today. Cloudy and 24 overnight. We've stayed above normal for the overnight hours, 34 at O'Hare, 35 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 6, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Got a government shutdown in L.A. at the local level. Teacher strike. And the teacher strike in L.A., second largest school district in the country, prompting Chicago Teachers Union to start rattling their sabers for cash and prizes, and maybe what that L.A. teacher strike is really about. More cash and prizes, yes, always, but it's really about less competition. Less competition. Rebecca Fredericks, who was Mark Janus before Mark Janus, Fredericks versus California Teachers Association, challenging fair share dues. That was the case that was going to be decided the term that Antonin Scalia died. So deadlock 4-4. So the precedent of the Abood case, 1977, stood. Mark Janus, State of Illinois employee, ultimately then becomes the plaintiff in the seminal decision that was rendered last year by the Supreme Court, eliminating fair share and changing the landscape for public sector unions. Fredericks gave an interview to our friend Joel Pollack over at Breitbart. She makes this point. Teachers unions in L.A. have been offered a 6% raise. They've been offered more nurses, counselors, and librarians, who would all pay union dues. And they've been offered the smaller class sizes they want.
Well, that's great.
So what's the
I know
rub?
one guy was squawking, "Why have 50 kids in my math class?"
Yeah, right. It's always
50,
about
really?
It's always about the kids, right? Smaller class sizes, wraparound services. That's all they really
you
care
have
about.
even enough desks for 50 students, but not that if that was even real. But
6% raise.
Yeah. I love
Nurses,
it.
counselors, librarians, smaller class sizes. So why the strike? Fredericks is on the job. They're continuing to strike because they've been convinced by state and national teachers unions that they need to push for a moratorium on charter schools, like the one Tiny Dancer Institute in Chicago,
Okay.
and full unionization of charter schools.
Oh, there you go. That's the rub.
So this is about eliminating competition for the failing neighborhood schools. Got it?
Yeah, but I'd be worried too if I were those teachers because the kids are still in class, Dan. Administrators are teaching, and then they have substitute teachers. A lot of people in Hollywood are out, of working on the big screen, so they have all signed up to be substitute teachers.
A third of the students came to campus, according to the
That's
LA
it?
Times. 141,000 of the 485,000 students showed up. CTU, Chicago teachers, seizing on the opportunity. Listen to this. You think these organizations don't work in concert with one another? Fredericks' point about the national coordination. Jesse Sharkey, he's the new Karen Lewis.
I saw him dancing to Maroon 5 in Springfield yesterday.
Big socialist. Lives in a big house, too.
Oh.
Sharkey, his proposals for the next Chicago teachers contract, the current one expires June 30.
This year?
Yes. Increased pay and benefits. Increased staffing. More librarians and nurses. Huh. Where? Didn't I just read that in L.A.? Reduced class sizes. And social demands guaranteeing sanctuary status for undocumented students in CPS classrooms. And increased availability of affordable housing citywide. What that has to do with the teacher's contract? Hey, when you're running the show, get aggressive. 5% raises for CTU members is what says Sharkey and his brigade is demanding. Librarians, nurses at every school, heightened special ed, bilingual student support services, class sizes capped at 24, early childhood education counselor for every 250 students. It's about the kids. Small class sizes, better product. Yeah. Rebecca Fredericks sifts through that and gets to what it's about, telling Joel Pollak, it's about politics. Most teachers and their friends stand together against the corrupt system. They don't realize the schools are corrupt, thanks to state and national teachers' unions that teachers are funding in the billions of dollars every year. It's about politics. She makes the point that during her case, the union lawyers literally said, and I quote, during her case, which led to the Janus case, the union lawyers literally said, and I quote, if the Janus case won and people like myself are freed from being forced to fund unions, the unions would raise an untold specter of union unrest throughout the country because union security is the trade-off for no strikes. That's why we have teacher strikes today. Politics, insulation from competition. Oh, and yeah, we'll take the salary increases and the prized benefits too. We'll enhance those, of course, because why not? We're the blank check brigade. We say blank check, and you say, where do I sign? That's how it works. By the way, CPS spends about $17,000 per pupil. LA is about 13. Same thing's happening in LA as is in CPS. People fleeing the neighborhood schools for legitimate charters or private schools or public schools in the suburbs. CPS deficit spending, represents about a third of the statewide debt school districts have piled up in Illinois. Mm-hmm. It's about $8 billion of the $24 billion. I mean, they deficit spend into the billions every year, right? It's every year is a financial crisis in CPS. Oh, and lest you worry about how this all gets funded, because they figured it out. Gambling and drugs, but it's rich people are going to pay for the raises. The rich people. Listening to these people talk, it's like listening to Blankenship talk about Mitch McConnell. It's like the China people. These magical people that are going to pay for everything.
Cocaine Mitch.
By the way, you're going to use doping people up and selling more lottery tickets or other games of chance.
Yeah, sports betting, casinos.
Yeah. You want to look at the zip codes that dominate lottery ticket sales? You think it's rich people?
No.
Right. The rich people are going to pay. Okay. I mean, I don't blame them for continuing to sell the snake oil because people keep buying it here.
I'll never forget Art Norman always said, I never buy a lotto ticket because the lottery steals money from poor African-American people in the worst neighborhoods in Chicago.
I mean, yeah, it's just like Econ 101. It's a regressive tax. Yes. Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I'm kind of like in science, as I talked to you guys about many times. But the thing that's going to scare the crap out of these people is if they start talking bankruptcy, is what they ought to start mentioning, and you guys should be talking about it every day, because then all of their pensions and all of that crap that they wanted, they go in with every other creditor, and they'll probably get maybe 40 cents on the dollar. You want to scare them? Mention bankruptcy. That'll bring them in.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Ed. The problem is, who's going to do it? Why would they take the specter of bankruptcy seriously? Who's going to say it? Tiny Dancer out the door? One of these fungible mayoral candidates? Governor Spalding? Speaker Madigan? Senate President John Cullerton? Anybody else in the Lollipop Gang? Who's left to scare, even have a reasonable conversation about grade school math around here? Nobody.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
If you're serious about improving your home, why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Oakbrook Home and Garden Show, January 19th and 20th at the Drury Lane Theater and Event Center. Come see hundreds of the latest home products and services for thousands of the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home. Speak with local and national experts who are eager to help you find the best solution for all your home improvement needs. You'll find everything for your home, from the ultimate in-outdoor furniture to the latest and greatest home appliances. And don't miss one of the many free informative seminars running throughout the weekend, including expert advice on the latest in kitchen design presented by award-winning Normandy Remodeling. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find all at the Home and Garden Show, January 19th and 20th at Drury Lane, just north of the Oakbrook Shopping Center, with free admission and free valet parking. For more details, please visit oakbrookhomeshow.com. That's oakbrookhomeshow.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie capsules contain 100% vine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind. And it is undeniably one of the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water, some a little higher, some a little lower. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to take out the water and air, leaving only whole food, which maintains 99.9% of its original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health. Make sense? To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-597-0315. That's 800-597-0315. 800-597-0315. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This is Dr. Bob Marshall. Quantum reflex analysis stands heads above other therapies in its ability to tell us what your body needs. It is a simple yet profoundly effective system of testing the bioenergetic status of the body's key organs and glands using a university-proven muscle testing technique of medically accepted acupuncture reflex points. Dr. Mike Andriano of Trinity Holistic Health Center is trained and certified by me as a QRA practitioner, and I highly recommend him. Give Dr. Andriano a call today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Andriano. Sometimes traditional medicine is not the answer to your health issues, and you may need to look to alternative practices to overcome your challenges. At Trinity Holistic Health Center, we've been helping patients to conquer their biggest health issues and put them on a path to a healthier life. As a partner of Dr. Marshall's, we offer his nutritional protocols that we've been using for years. Get your life back. Call now for a free consultation. 773-786-2722 or visit trinityholistic.com.
Have you ever seen what really goes on in your caterer's or favorite restaurant's kitchen? What does the kitchen look like? How big is the operation? And maybe most importantly, who's cooking my meal? When you cater with Tasty Catering, you get more than quality food and event planning. You get an invitation to see what goes on throughout our entire building, including our kitchen. We call it our open kitchen door policy. Come see for yourself why we are so proud of what we do and gain the peace of mind that comes with knowing the who's, the what's, the where's, and the how's of the way we prepare your food. Visit tastycatering.com for more information or contact a Tasty Catering sales representative and set up a time to come meet with us at our home. You can't put a price on peace of mind, but if you had to, all it takes is one visit. Call 847-593-2000. 847-593-2000. Or start your visit through our open doors at tastycatering.com.
If you're not pleased with your child's progress this school year, now's the time to consider enrolling your son or daughter in St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. With an ongoing enrollment program, it's never too late. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual, and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. Find out more about St. John's Northwestern Military Academy ongoing enrollment. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Dan Proft here, and I want to tell you about a pro-life organization that's very near and dear to me, Aid for Women. Did you know that 1 out of 4 pregnancies in Cook County ends in abortion? Aid for Women is fighting the abortion battle on the front lines. 5 pregnancy care centers and 2 maternity homes in the Chicago area. Because of the passage of House Bill 40 in Illinois, women on Medicaid can get abortions on demand, free of charge throughout the state. As a result, while Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry are closing clinics throughout the rest of the country, they're actually expanding in Illinois. Women can even come here from out of state to get free abortions, all on Illinois taxpayers' dime. We cannot let the abortion industry take over our local communities. Few people know that pro-life pregnancy centers exist to accompany women in unexpected pregnancies. For more than 40 years, Aid for Women has helped women choose life. Your support is vital, and together we will save lives. Go to helpaidforwomen.org and commit today to more actively live out your pro-life convictions. Again, the website helpaidforwomen.org. Please help Aid for Women save lives in Illinois.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we're talking about the LA teacher strike and the opportunity that it's presented for Chicago teachers to start beating the drum for their own raises and their new insulation from competition they will demand when their contract expires June 30th of this year. I mean, again, you understand the negotiation, just to repeat, the negotiation for teachers in Illinois works like this. The teachers union says, we want a blank check. And then the school boards, ruling class Pauls, general electorate says, where do we sign?
Right, because they need their support come election time.
And then
they
it's
don't wanna
over.
ruffle their feathers.
Yeah.
And now that JB, the big guy, is in charge, it should be easier for him.
Greg and Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan and Amy, what do the two of you think of this idea? We are definitely in an insanity situation, given the fact that every single year now we're doing the equivalent of continuous resolutions, like on these teachers' deals. So what does Trump have to lose if he were to come in and literally do or recommend a plan that is somewhat along this line? As someone who is in her 60s, I've taught myself how to code just watching YouTube videos and Udemy. It seems to me one of the things that we have to do within the school system is to utilize technology in a much more comprehensive way than we're doing, and then tear down buildings and put up newer and fewer ones with teachers, which would therefore cut the fixed cost on it. It seems like Trump's got nothing to lose on this. And I know I quit laughing, Dan. Come on.
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, you're directionally correct, but it's not an idea problem. It's a political will problem here. This is a Trump-free zone too. The city's a Trump-free zone. He's not allowed to come here.
No. Listen, we have got to change that now. We have nothing to lose. Illinois is in the bottom of the barrel as of yesterday or Monday.
Yeah.
We've got to change this.
Yeah.
And what does Trump have to do?
I don't know. I mean, I think he's got bigger items on his agenda than dealing with the Chicago Public Schools, unfortunately. But thanks for the call, Greg. I appreciate it. I mean, Betsy DeVos could use her perch too. But I mean, they're proponents of school choice. They're proponents of competition. I mean, this isn't a federal government problem. Schools are fundamentally local and state concerns. So if we want to destroy K through 12 education in this state, then that's our choice, and a lot of other states won't.
Well,
And a lot of other people and a lot of other states will be welcoming Illinois families as they have been for the last 15 years.
Do you think it would matter if we had an elected school board instead of an appointed school board? That wouldn't change a darn thing.
Would not change a darn thing. That's sort of process over substance. It's symbolism. I mean, really, yeah, maybe you get some different personnel, but guess who gets to participate in school board elections? The teachers union
Exactly.
to finance candidates.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you know,
So it's more of the same.
I
I loved when Penny Pritzker was on our school board.
we have a culture
Could
problem.
really relate to poor Chicagoans.
Yeah, well,
Really, I
sure.
mean, really related to
All
us
the
really well.
All the Pritzkers can.
Yeah.
They've got that gift. Listen, culture problem. You are not, it's a personnel problem in part, but fundamentally it is a culture problem. It is a paradigm problem. It is a system problem. If you're not talking about how to change that, then we're just whistling past the graveyard on our way to Naples.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Got some glimmer of hope for American culture. Not Illinois, but American culture. 10 million views of that Gillette ad on YouTube. So far, running 2.5 to 1, thumbs down. We'll pick it up at 6:06.
And later, a Texas teen service dog is shot. Any dog lover, you're going to have to hear this story and grab some tissues. But first, here's Mike Scott.
A funeral set for a state trooper killed by a car along the tri-state. Ethics reform discussed at a mayoral forum. WIND Chicago News Time. It's 6 o'clock.
Another Democrat has 2020 vision. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand.
Well, I'm going to run for President of the United States because as a young mom, I'm going to fight for other people's kids as hard as I would fight for my own.
Gillibrand announced her exploratory committee to start a campaign on the CBS Late Show.
I believe that health care should be a right and not a privilege.
She joined several others who've also announced to run for president. A few dozen more Democrats are considering it. It's day 26 of the partial government shutdown. President Trump still in a standoff with Democrats in Congress over border wall funding.
Instead of negotiating with Speaker Pelosi, he tried to sit down with the rank-and-file Democrats. He invited them to lunch at the White House. Only problem was, not a single Democrat showed up.
Fox's Kristen Fisher.
Instead, a group of House Democrats went to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's office to demand he consider the bills the House passed to fund the government. But McConnell wasn't there, so the Democrats left a note.
On day 2 of Attorney General nominee William Barr's Senate confirmation hearing.
I will not let personal, political, or other improper interests influence my decision.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, on day 1 of his confirmation hearing, Bill Barr told the Senate Judiciary Committee he will not interfere with Robert Mueller's Russia probe.
I want him to finish this investigation.
And that, if confirmed, he'll be an independent attorney general. Democrat Dianne Feinstein was asked,
Do you see this a pretty easy road for him heading to confirmation?
Oh, I think so. We'll see.
Today, day 2 of the hearing, with an outside panel of witnesses set to testify, including former Attorney General Michael Mukasey. As is customary, Barr will not be present. Dave.
Rachel American is among the 14 people killed when terrorists attacked a hotel in Nairobi, Kenya. An explosion, a suicide bombing, and gunfire, and all the attackers were killed. This is Fox News.
Clouds and 35 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Looks like Sears will be staying in business. Sears Holding Chairman Eddie Lampert has reportedly prevailed at a bankruptcy auction for the department store chain. Lampert improved his takeover bid to $5.2 billion to allow the Hoffman Estates-based retailer, of which Lampert is chairman, to keep its doors open for now. 2 Chicago police officers are recovering following a crash on the south side. The accident happened early this morning when the officers were responding to a shooting near 114th and Carpenter. Funeral services are set for the Illinois State Trooper struck and killed by a vehicle over the weekend. Visitation for Chris Lambert will be held tomorrow at the Willow Creek Church in South Barrington. A police car was involved in a crash on its way to responding to a structure fire at a Hobart, Indiana tanning salon late Tuesday evening. 3 have been transported from that scene to the hospital following that crash involving a squad car near Lake Park Avenue and 3rd Street. Meantime, firefighters were responding to a call at the Copper Penny tanning salon in Hobart. Everyone in that building was evacuated safely. Candidates running for mayor of Chicago calling for ethics reform in response to the federal corruption charges against Alderman Ed Burke. Candidate Toni Preckwinkle was asked how she would deal with corruption in city government.
You know, I think that the critical issue here, if we're going to prevent future Ed Burkes, is that we say that you cannot, if you're an elected official in Chicago, have outside employment. I never have.
Meantime, the Civilian Office of Police Accountability says it will not release video or audio tapes of the November shooting in a hospital that left a police officer, a doctor, and a pharmacy resident, along with the suspected shooter, dead. Lakers over the Bulls, 107-100. Blackhawks travel to face the Rangers tomorrow night. Bears lose another member of their defensive staff. Defensive backs coach Ed Donatel has been hired by Denver as their defensive coordinator. The news service of La Quinta Inns and Suites, traveling for work. Make your next stop La Quinta by Wyndham. Their spacious rooms and free high-speed internet makes it easy to work, while their comfortable beds and bright-side breakfast make it easy to relax. Win at business wherever you go. Book at lq.com. 6:04. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity applauds the president's stance on trade.
We have had horrible one-sided deals with everybody. That includes NATO, 72 cents of every dollar. That includes even our European allies and friends, supposedly. They have one-sided trade deals. Mexico, NAFTA, Canada, now China. So we're making huge progress.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-597-0315. That's 800-597-0315. 800-597-0315. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
And if you're a small business owner or you make the marketing or advertising decisions for a business, then listen up.
Once again, our annual Food for the Poor campaign is underway to raise money for children suffering from poverty in Haiti. We've partnered with Food for the Poor to provide food and clean water to several thousand children this year.
And here's how your business can be a part of this. Become a Food for the Poor business benefactor. Just make a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor. And AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday at no additional cost to you.
That's the best advertising deal in all of Chicago. To take advantage of this deal, just call Anjanette Natowski at 847-472-8951. Again, that's 847-472-8951. One more time. 847-472-8951.
Winter or summer, rain or shine, with the Peloton bike, it's always the perfect weather to sweat. And with up to 14 live rides a day and over 10,000 more on demand, nothing will get between you and your workout. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom.
6:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
In South Suburban Harvey, there's a reported shooting around 150th and Dixie Highway. In Hobart, Northwest Indiana, drivers are asked to avoid 3rd Street between Center and Main for a fire. It started last night in a tanning salon. The Aidens Expressway looks good. Inbound Kennedy, see slow pocket, Sayre to Central and Addison to Kimball. 24 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. On Eisenhower, 35 minutes, 390 to the Burns Circle. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 16 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop 423. Delays on the eastbound Adams Tollway from Higgins to Barrington Road. Crash in the 2 left lanes. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Times of clouds and sun today, high 32. It'll be cloudy tonight, low 24. Clouds and a few flurries for tomorrow, and a high 34. Cloudy skies for Friday, and a high 30. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
34 at O'Hare, 35 along the lakefront. Your next news update, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So Fallout, day 2 of the Gillette Pea Hat ad. Now, the Forbes piece I read, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing on YouTube. The internet mystifies me. The Forbes piece, why Gillette's new ad campaign is toxic, or maybe this is just old data. He had negative comments on Gillette's YouTube channel running 10-1 versus positive comments. I just looked at the thumbs up, thumbs down, 10 million views so far, and it was about 2.5 to 1 thumbs down to thumbs up. So that's, I guess, some good news that there are some men left in this country who read between the lines, who can get what you're driving at, Gillette, and understand that you're advancing a cartoonish caricature of men, and also understand that the last place I'm going to look for moral guidance is corporate America and associated ad agencies who work for corporate America. Refresh your recollection on the ad itself.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
But she says
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool, not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men,
and small.
I am strong.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I cannot watch it enough. I showed Peyton and Eli the ad yesterday, too.
Were all three of you wearing your pea hats while you watched it?
No, we actually weren't because we don't own pea hats.
Oh.
But, I mean, I know it's for young men. I just want them to see, hey, some men do this. If there's a fight, they stop the fight. I have someone who thinks guys
Finally.
going after a woman. No, for the young men. I know a lot of people thought this dummied down what men already do. Chivalry is not dead. Men still help women if they think a guy's going to go after and grab her, pinch her butt or something. I got that. But for young men, I thought it was good for them to see.
No, finally some instruction for young men from Gillette. Yeah. That's where we look to understand what it means to be a man. We look to...
It's a razor commercial without one razor in it.
The other thing is you say, oh well, it's just a commercial for a company, so why make such a big deal about it? Well, here's why I make such a big deal about it: because of the reaction, like you just heard, the import that advertising has on shaping culture, just like other content that's broadcast through these powerful communication channels. Why do you think people pay millions and millions of dollars for a 30-second spot during the Super Bowl? Because advertising doesn't work? Why do you think Jelly Belly paid $171 million, most of it on TV, because he wanted to be governor, and he knows that's a medium that still has a lot of power in addition to all the other communication channels. So, advertising is persuasive. Let's not be naive. So that's why it's important, and it's important to talk about. And, of course, it's a prompt for this larger cultural discussion. Oh, and just in case you're like Amy and you thought this was innocuous, just appealing to men's better angels, that's all this was. You may want to take a look at some of the other work of one Kim Gehrig. She's the woman who directed this ad for Gillette. Australian-born, London-based ad executive. I'd point you to KimGehrig.com. Point you to a piece on where basically a dad is a steroid jacked-up abuser. 3 minutes, a little 3-minute short. I'd also point you to a commercial she did featuring singing vaginas. No politics here. No less than subtle subtext here. This is just a socially responsible corporation appealing to men's better angels. Is that what you believe? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Oh, and since everybody is trying to figure out where they're going to buy their razors now, at least people that, have the same perspective on the topic that I do. I think I'm sticking with Dollar Shave Club because Harry's isn't an option.
Yeah, Harry's kind of stepped in it.
November of 2017, Harry's tweeted out, "Today is International Men's Day." That's a thing. Now more than ever, being a man demands introspection, humility, and optimism. To get a better tomorrow, we need to take a look at today and at the misguided stereotypes that got us here in this first place. And they have a little video. Now, they've taken this tweet down because now they're trying to take advantage of Gillette.
I know.
Blowing themselves up.
I got about 5,000 advertisements for him yesterday. But what did the video show?
Harry's, the video, takes aspirational masculine statements like be tough, be a rock, be a man, be the breadwinner, crosses them out. David French, writing in National Review, says this was more disquieting to him than the Gillette ad. He says, it's so over the top, writes French, that it's almost like a parody of modern woke attacks on masculinity. Whereas Gillette's message is bad things are bad, sort of. That's a generous interpretation. Harry's message is good things are bad. Be a man, be tough, be a rock. Stoicism is bad. Well, that's a good thing, actually.
Am I living on a different planet? I just did not think it was that offensive.
Well, yes. I don't,
Men are from Mars,
I don't know
women
how
are from Venus,
I don't know how
right?
to answer that question. I mean, you just can't look at things, without some consideration of context and the perspective of the, number one, content producer, and number two, goal. What's the goal? The ad guy who writes for on advertising for Forbes makes the point. There's research millennials want, and that's their market, right? I mean, they're not going after old men like me. They're going after millennials and younger.
Right.
Millennials like, socially responsible corporations. So this is their way to do it. And you know what corporate social responsibility is a synonym for in 2019 America?
What?
Cultural Marxism. So this is their way to adopt that to appeal to them. That's what they think. Tim in Crown Point, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I just had a remark about the Dollar Shave Club. They're actually in the process of being bought by Unilever, so they're probably going to be the same route in a couple of months here.
All right. Thanks for the call, Tim. All right, fine. You know what? I'll get a straight razor.
Yeah.
An unbranded straight razor and
In
do
a
it
leather
myself.
thing?
Yeah.
No, I'll
old
shave
school
for
style.
you. I won't cut you. You can trust me shaving you, right?
There's so many places
know.
I could take that statement that I'm not going to, because this is a family show. Bob in Buffalo Grove.
Thanks for taking my call, Dan and Amy. Before you guys were born, back in the late 60s, there was the infamous Noxzema Take It All Off ad.
Oh, yeah.
And
I remember that. And I remember using Noxzema. Don't get it in your eye. It burns.
I wonder whatever happened to the Swedish actress Gunilla Knudsen, who played the blonde bombshell that played the Take It Off girl.
All right. Well, Bob, you find out and let us know. Thanks.
He remembered the name of the Swedish Noxzema skincare model. Wow. That's dedication. A commercial from the 80s. Knudsen.
I would like to rest my case as to the power of advertising.
I mean, that was 40 years ago.
Verlon on the south side.
Wow.
This is another attempt by the left-leaning liberal ideology to sissify men, to break men down in their brains so we'll be more equal to women.
No.
This is the
It's just saying man up. You got to man up. Look what these
no,
people
that's
do.
not.
Do
That's,
the same
that's
thing.
it's the opposite of man up.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, excuse me. This is the opposite of man up because you're taking the main ingredient of being a man out of being a man. We need aggression. I'm an alpha male. Dan's an alpha male. Sean's an alpha male.
I'm an
Males
alpha
need
male.
to
You're
hunt.
an alpha. You could
Males
be.
need to
Today at
hunt.
4 a.m.
Males need to hunt. We need to be aggressive to go after women and get what we want. That's the reason why all these men out here taking these testosterone pills. You got Big Hurt on TV selling testosterone pills. You got Holly Robinson and her husband selling some type of testosterone pills because men are confusing their brains now. We don't know how to be men. That's the problem.
They're selling testosterone because when you get
Roll
older,
on.
your testosterone levels fall. Not because of your. I mean, I just do not understand why you see this is offensive.
Well,
it's just it's decent to stop bullying and people who are being sexually harassed.
I don't know how many different ways to explain it. We went through one of the examples in the commercial yesterday where you conceded the point that this fictional sitcom where a white man is grabbing the backside,
The buttocks.
Al
Like he was-
Franken-style
Yeah.
of his black maid to the throngs of laughter from an all-white audience. What sitcom is that? Doesn't exist. But
especially back in those days, I mean, they weren't even going to have scenes in bedrooms.
So develop that then.
All right. Well, that's a little. Every commercial is a little bit of a stretch to catch your attention, and that's what they did.
There's no agenda with that, you say.
Well, of course, there's a agenda. They're just trying to wake everybody up to watch the rest of the commercial. That's my interpretation. Why they did it. It was wrong on their part, but the other parts of the commercial I like. They forgot about the mom and all this. The mom's there to coddle the little son who's getting bullied. And then we're sexual objects the rest of the commercial.
No, the moms are in the commercial. They're the ones that look like men. I mean, honestly, all that we have talked about with the elimination of gender, the elimination of bedrock institutions for Western civilization, marriage, but everything is to be innocently construed. There's no identity politics there's identity politics that seeps into every corner of our culture, but not this Gillette ad. That's neutral. I mean, I just don't understand how you can dismiss all of the cultural context. And I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about for the last, 30 years. But this ad is neutral, completely impervious to everything around it, and should be taken in a silo. This occurs in a vacuum. I mean, come on. Mike, downtown.
Yeah, how you doing? I just want to say I want to see the MaxiPak commercial
where women are held responsible for their false rape accusations, like Christine Blasey Ford, or about how they basically mooch off rich men like Jeff Bezos and they get a $50 billion settlement, or
Lauren
how they
Sanchez loves him.
lie about the wage gap, or how they basically waited for civilization to be built in order for them to start asking for equal rights. New estimates date mankind back 200,000 years. Women have only been allowed in the workplace the last 100. There's a reason for that gap. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I think Mike should make that commercial.
That would be yeah.
I don't know
I'd love
that
to see it.
that would qualify as a socially responsible corporate conduct or content in this day and age, Mike. But I take
That'd be
most of your
funny.
point there. Yeah. Tom in Blue Island.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, Gillette, the point everyone's missing is Gillette has finally realized that the way they're going to make money is by targeting women. They don't need men anymore. And that Gillette has realized that just like the Democrat Party, you don't need men to get to your ends. And the women, all the women in the world will be fine. And, the guys can just move along because we're the bullies and we don't protect anybody. And if men can just be coddled down a little bit, everything will just be fine.
Yeah, and thanks for the call, Tom. And by the way, of course,
You're protecting women and children in that ad.
yeah, of course, the problem, right, that the Me Too movement has given rise to emanates from where? Men of the left, feminist men. But you've got to indict all men to provide cover for the real source of the problems that they're describing, don't you? But again, there's no agenda. There's no politics here. Megan in Evanston.
Thanks for taking my call. I'm so glad you guys continue to talk about this topic because in my estimation, their target audience is a group of people who are so disconnected from traditional values, bedrock society, families. They're unwilling to do that. So here's an easy way to jump in and once again belong to something that they have no idea what it truly means. So thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Megan. David and McCook.
Hey, good morning, guys. The ad read, men holding other men accountable. I'm taking a pledge to hold you accountable, Dan, that you cannot call Amy a really hot broad anymore. Can't do that anymore, Dan.
Oh, yeah. He addresses me that way every morning.
Okay. Thank you, David. Thank you for holding me accountable as my brother.
They're just
in
asking.
this journey that we're taking together to be better men. And as I said yesterday, better men, and I mean, the message couldn't be any more clear, except if it came on the side of your head in the form of a sledgehammer. All men are Tyler Durden, and they need to be Pajamas Boy. That's it. That's the message.
I think it's sexist because they don't show any women grilling, and I'm the griller in my family.
Women are perfect. Women don't need to be discussed. They don't need to be presented because they are without flaw. The problem is men, you understand, and toxic masculinity.
I'm dealing with some toxic masculinity right now. I can't even say the word.
Yeah. Bruce in Bloomingdale.
Good morning. Gillette, the best dessert can get. This ad is racist, sexist, and bigoted, and King Gillette must be doing about 35,000 RPM by now.
Thanks, Bruce.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey everyone, Carrie here. For years, you've heard my husband, Ken,
Hello, Radioland.
explain how Income Store is the place for your next revenue stream. Not to date ourselves, but Ken and I have been helping individuals and businesses grow their revenue since before the internet was even a thing. We've heard countless stories as to why people look to increase their revenue.
Some stories make us laugh, some make us cry.
These stories, combined with our own, have motivated Ken and I to dedicate our lives to help people, as Ken says, who need a revenue shot in the backside.
Whether you want to just learn how or simply put, you need to generate revenue today. Our mission is to serve both.
Our worldwide staff of over 150 help to create amazing resources, our most famous being the iTunes podcast.
Today's growth. You got to check out episode 383. It's truly amazing.
And both Inc. and Forbes have shared that when it comes to generating revenue, Income Store is a can't miss. To grow your revenue today, check out incomestore.com.
That's incomestore.com.
All right, you listen to our station, and I know you have heard repeatedly all those Balance of Nature commercials. And many of you are wondering, are they real? Does this product really work? Well, let me tell you, those testimonials are 100% true. I've met with Dr. Howard and his wife and his son. Dr. Howard is the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. We've spent time together, and he showed me the emails. I listened to the voicemails that he gets every single day from real people who are living healthier lives because they've been taking Balance of Nature. Look, we are all busy, and it is hard for us to eat the amount of fruits and vegetables we need on a daily basis. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. It's real fruits and veggies in a capsule, packed with 30 fruits and vegetables, picked at the peak of freshness, then flash dried and ground into a powder. So it's easy to digest, and in a matter of days, you can start to notice a difference. So begin the new year by getting healthier with Balance of Nature. Get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Call the number 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago for 35% off your first order of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature.
AM 560, The Answer.
So who do you want to sit with? Do you want to sit with Dan or Amy on Tuesday, January 29th? That's the question. Dan, how are your table manners?
I'm fine. I use utensils.
Oh, that's good. And a napkin on your lap.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay. So Tuesday, January 29th.
And I'm sure there'll be, men from the Gillette ad to instruct me if I act in a barbaric way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The 29th, that's the day when President Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address, and we are throwing a huge party, and you're invited. We're calling it A Taste of Freedom, and it's presented by healthinsurancementors.com. We're holding it at the beautiful Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. The evening will feature dinner at 6:30, followed by the president's speech on the big screen at 8 p.m. And if you hurry, you can buy tickets to sit with Dan or Amy. Right now, I'm beating you. I have 3 tickets left. Dan has 4 seats left. So spend time with us. The tickets, how you can get them? Well, go to 560theanswer.com/taste. That's 560theanswer.com/taste. Great price point for you, just $64. And our event is sponsored in part by Storlock, and we will see you Tuesday, January 29th. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
At 6:36, our latest Campus Beat segment. Somebody get Franklin Graham on the blower. It might be time to remove Billy's name from Wheaton College.
Ooh, boy. And speaking of Billy, wait until you hear who's the new headline for Naperville Rib Fest. Move over, Pitbull. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
35 degrees and a no confidence vote in Britain's parliament today. British Prime Minister Theresa May is facing the music one day after her plan for Brexit was soundly defeated. British Prime Minister May's deal on the terms of Britain's separation from the EU went down in flames.
The ayes to the right, 202. The noes to the left, 432. So the noes have it. The noes have it.
If May wins her no-confidence vote, she'll then have to come up with another plan for the UK to leave the European Union, a move approved by voters 2 years ago. Day 2 of Attorney General nominee William Barr's confirmation hearing. Barr, who served as AG under President George H.W. Bush, was selected by President Trump to replace Jeff Sessions. The nominee does not believe Special Counsel Robert Mueller is involved in a witch hunt.
I believe it is in the best interest of everyone, the President, Congress, and the American people, that this matter be resolved by allowing the Special Counsel to complete his work.
Barr saying his allegiance is simply to the rule of law. One American among 15 killed in a terror attack on an upscale hotel in Kenya. Teachers in Los Angeles continue striking for a third day. El Chapo could take the witness stand in his drug trafficking trial. If he does, the accused drug kingpin will answer questions about an alleged bribe paid to a former Mexican president. Looks like Sears will stay in business for now. Sears Holding Chairman Eddie Lampert has reportedly prevailed in a bankruptcy auction for the department store chain. 2 Chicago police officers recovering from a crash on the south side. The accident happening early this morning while the officers were responding to a shooting near 114th and Carpenter. Federal prosecutors are receiving a 3-month extension to indict Chicago Alderman Ed Burke. Federal judge awarded the extension yesterday. And the Oscar drama continues this morning. The Screen Actors Guild is accusing the Academy of intimidating actors so they only present at the Oscars and no other award shows. SAG-AFTRA this morning releasing a statement saying they have received many examples of the unwarranted pressure on talent, called the situation outrageous. Lakers over the Bulls, 107-100. Illinois basketball tonight. They host Minnesota. Last night, Notre Dame lost to number 15 North Carolina. In the Valley was Loyola topping Valparaiso. The news service of Peloton. Peloton is a game-changing indoor cycling bike that brings the energy of live studio classes right to your home anytime you want. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. 6:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
President Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address on Tuesday, January 29th. And to mark the occasion, AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Enjoy dinner and drinks as you watch the speech with fellow AM 560 listeners. Tickets are on sale now for just $64 at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
It is 6:37, and let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Eastbound Adams Tollway I-90 traffic is stop and go from 59 to Barrington Road after an earlier crash. Northbound Tri-State traffic's heavy. Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways look good. Inbound Edens, it's 21 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 26 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, 25. On Eisenhower, delays are from Mannheim to Harlem and California to the Burns Circle. 38 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. Down Stevenson, 43 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 19 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop 430. In Hobart, drivers are asked to avoid 3rd Street, Center and Main after a fire. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Clouds and sun. 32 today, mostly cloudy, and 24 overnight. Currently 34. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
They got the beat, the campus beat, the campus beat. Yeah, the campus beat.
You like that?
All right, our latest installment of Campus Beat takes us to Wheaton.
Oh, in beautiful DuPage County, land of Dan Proft, Marcus Brown, and other beautifully smart, intelligent people.
Red Grange. I would start with Red Grange if I was going to go Wheaton. Yeah.
Who else? Who else is from Wheaton?
Well, I mean, Chuck Long went to
that's
Wheaton
right,
North.
Wheaton North.
Ken Graham, Wheaton North.
What other intellectual minds are from Wheaton?
Just me.
Just
Wheaton College, small, private, evangelical college. Conservative. Famously, Wheaton College students have to sign a
character clause, right?
Character contract.
Yeah.
Smoke, you shall not smoke, drink, dance, swear.
Well, didn't they ease up on the dancing thing? Because I remember when I was in high school, and it was big news that you had some dance-off or something.
Yeah, that was
a dance-a-thon or
This is the foundation.
Right.
Evangelical Christian, conservative. The Billy Graham Center on the campus of Wheaton College.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me. No, don't tell me.
The professor at Wheaton College, whose employment was terminated when he got divorced, because that's in the character clause for faculty. Teaching God's Word, being biblically accurate, one of the standards.
It's a place that still has rules, which is good, because without rules, there's chaos. And if you choose to go to school there, if you choose to work there, you know what you're getting into.
Or do you?
You know what you signed up for.
Yeah, or do you? Ryan Scott Baumberger has a different story about what's happening at Wheaton College. No place being safe for being for having an intellectual marketplace of ideas, for being thoughtful. Even Wheaton College has succumbed, at least in part, to cultural Marxism on campus. Ryan Scott Baumberger was conceived and raped, yet adopted and loved into a multiracial family of 15. He's biracial.
Okay.
Presented a talk at Wheaton College entitled Black Lives Matter In and Out of the Womb. He's pro-life. Student Government Association, with the help of 2 staff members and the Office of Student Activities at Wheaton College, he writes, sent out a dishonest campus-wide email denouncing him and his presentation, signed by student leaders Lauren Rowley, student body president, Tyler Waller, student body vice president, Sammy Shields, the executive vice president of community diversity. Why does Wheaton College even have such a post? The letter claimed that Mr. Baumberger's comments, quote, made many students, staff, and faculty of color feel unheard, underrepresented, and unsafe on our campus. Of course, they didn't identify Baumberger as a person of color, which he is. And as he points out, by the way, isn't everyone a color?
That's awesome. That is so cool.
The statement that was signed on by at least one employee made many students and staff and faculty of color feel unheard, underrepresented, and unsafe. Unsafe?
Unsafe?
To listen to a pro-life gentleman offer a biblical take on Black Lives Mattering in and out of the womb? To unheard? I'm sorry, if I attend a speech or if I give a speech, must I represent in my speech all of the views of those in attendance? What does that mean, unheard, underrepresented? And even that is such intellectual sophistry. It's totalitarian speak. Only one of the 5 people involved in this letter, writes Bomberger, this letter of denouncement, even attended his event. He writes, "It was clear that even on an evangelical Christian campus, truth is anathema to those who deify diversity. In a presentation on what Jesse Jackson once called black genocide," which is what Jesse Jackson once called abortion, "those who prefer activism over factivism chose to demonize and distort. He also goes on to take to task the Wheaton Record, local rag in Wheaton, characterizing him as a controversial speaker.
Oh, goodness.
Because being pro-life is controversial. Being Christian is controversial. Even at Wheaton College, apparently. The Wheaton Record referenced my speech at Harvard as an example similar to Wheaton, an event where pro-abortion activists melted down throughout the event because they hate a pro-life worldview. That was nothing like Wheaton. They cited my speech at Vicksburg High School, where the administration published defamatory statements on Facebook and in a school-wide email to students and parents saying I didn't deliver the presentation that was approved. The Wheaton Record doesn't tell you that less than 2 weeks later, the school issued a formal apology for lying about all of it. They praised me for being a, quote, dynamic, motivating speaker who touched the hearts of many in the audience, unquote. You see a pattern here at Wheaton, writes Bomberger? Some want diversity and faux unity so much they're willing to sacrifice the truth no matter who it actually hurts. Sacrifice the truth at a school that prides itself on teaching the source of truth. Vice President of Student Development Paul Chelson and Provost Margaret Diddams refused to intervene. They responded 15 days after the presentation to the third email saying they agreed to discuss the whole matter when we requested that one of our board members, this is the board member of the Radiance Foundation, where Bomberger, it's Bomberger's, or to which he's affiliated. When we request that one of our board members be able to join the off-the-record conversation, they refused to talk at all. Well, sure, they don't want to be held accountable with witnesses there. As Bomberger points out, not exactly choosing a Matthew 18 model of conflict resolution, is it? Allowing a fellow evangelical Christian to be slandered and treated like the enemy. Wheaton College. If you don't know much about Wheaton College, I think we've given you the backstory on it. But, boy, there's not going to be too many places left when Wheaton College falls. You're running out of places for Peyton and Eli. I'm sorry to tell you, Amy. There's a handful.
That's disheartening.
There's a handful.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's still Hillsborough College. What else is there?
Hillsdale.
Hillsdale College.
This is academia.
Yeah.
These are the deep thinkers with the advanced degrees.
But the sad thing is a lot of people are taking second mortgages out on their houses to send their kids to college. For what? They're better off not even going to college. Do something online. Get into a trade. Find another. Do coding. Learn it online like Greg from Schaumburg did via YouTube.
And this is where people they are literally automatons of the purveyors of cultural Marxism. There is no thinking happening. Let me give you another example of this, going off campus. CNN analyst Areva Martin was on with a conservative radio talk show host named David Webb. David Webb is on SiriusXM. He was talking about how merit, experience, accomplishment are the bases of judgment for things like employment. And Miss Martin disagreed, and here's how that went.
I've chosen to cross different parts of the media world, done the work so that I'm qualified to be in each one. I never considered my color the issue. I considered my qualifications the issue.
Well, David, that's a whole nother long conversation about white privilege and things that you have the privilege of doing that people of color don't have the privilege of.
How do I have the privilege of white privilege?
David, by virtue of being a white male, you have white privilege. This whole long conversation, I don't have time to get into it.
Ariva, I hate to break it to you, but you should have been better prepped. I'm black.
Okay, then I stand.
See, you went to white privilege. This is the falsehood in this. You went immediately with an assumption. Your people, obviously, or you didn't look. You're talking to a black man who started out in rock radio in Boston, who crossed the paths into hip-hop, rebuilding one of the greatest black stations in America, and went on to work for Fox News, where I'm told apparently blacks aren't supposed to work, but yet you come with this assumption and you go to white privilege. That's actually insulting.
It is, and I apologize because my people gave me wrong information. They told me
the whole white privilege thing is insulting.
David, can I apologize and correct the record? I want to apologize. I was given wrong information about you, and I apologize.
But based on my color, you were going to something that I was part of, and just to add to it.
Yeah, here's the thing. She's apologizing because she didn't know. She thought he was white and he's black. But that's not the point. And David Webb sort of misses making this point.
I know, and I listened to the whole thing waiting for I needed more. He completely missed it. But maybe he was in shock that she said it. I don't know.
The point is that she makes the white privilege argument at all. She's apologizing because she got his race wrong. She's not apologizing for the white privilege argument.
Exactly.
This is standard issue. Present any fact pattern or any fact provider, and you're going to get this argument. That's all they have. That's all they have.
And then she blames
solidarity,
it on her people, my people. Oh,
bigot baiting and solidarity and marginality. Bigot baiting and solidarity and marginality.
It's a rehearsed script.
Rinse and repeat.
She's got egg on her face.
There is not a second level analysis capacity among any of them. The administrators and some of the students apparently at Wheaton College, these cable news show analysts, they have literally fried whatever gray matter they once had because they have consumed this cultural Marxist hatred, claptrap. They are lost. And the institutions they lord over are lost too. Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Dan, Amy, you just played that clip. That might be the clip, if not of the month, of the year. It just throws away, it completely, from their point of view, throws away the entire argument on this nonsense. Yeah. That was beautiful.
It's gone. Right. Thanks for the call, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. You from your white privilege. If you
just because he worked for Fox News, she thought he was white.
If you say merit, if you say experience, if you say accomplishment, then you are, one of the bad men in the Gillette ad. And it doesn't matter. I'll apologize. I got your race wrong, but I won't apologize for the underlying argument, for the accusation. Not apologizing for that.
And what was the premise of their conversation to begin with? I mean, it sounded like
meritocracy.
Meritocracy. Oh, yeah.
Candace in Mount Pleasant.
Hi. I have two complaints, Dan. Number one, school choice isn't enough, and it never was. Every time I go home for Christmas, I have to listen to my father-in-law complain about it up in Michigan and how it's not working, and it doesn't appear to be working up there. But my problem with
your father-in-law.
Wait.
Well, no, I'm not going to wait. Your father-in-law is wrong. And before we get to my problem with school choice, let me just tell you something. Competition works. Central planning doesn't work.
The same teachers. It doesn't go far enough, as usual, with the GOP. we need like military teaching the kids, okay? So not only do they get an education, but they also get discipline and other characteristics that they're not getting. And they don't have to go through trans classes, okay?
Yes, well,
it's not enough.
Yeah, okay, Candace, you're talking past the issue. The whole point is there's not one solution. There are a lot of successful models that could be replicated and scaled. That's the whole point of choice. That's the whole point of a market system in anything. Choice. There are models to be scaled. Urban Prep Academy in Chicago. It's not military. Model to be scaled. Northside Prep in Niles. Not military. Model to be scaled. Bennett Academy in Lisle. Model to be scaled. Not military. Some great military schools. Amy, you just mentioned one.
St. John's Northwestern Military Academy.
Yes.
There you go.
School choice works everywhere it's tried. Period, full stop. You know why? Because competition works everywhere it's tried to produce better goods and services at lower costs. That's what happens. It would happen in education if it were scaled, as it is being scaled in places like Florida and Arizona. Because it happens with every single good and service, no exceptions.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Netflix basking in yesterday's big rally. Democrats lose a House vote to reopen the government. Uber and Lyft stock offerings delayed by the government shutdown. Those stories next.
Hi, this is Alexander Green, Chief Investment Strategist for the Oxford Club. Just for a moment, I'd like you to picture the perfect stock. No doubt it would have hundreds of billions in revenue, more than IBM, Facebook, and Google. It would probably be a leader in cutting-edge technology like smartphones and robotics. It would be on the verge of dozens of blockbuster announcements. But most of all, it would be ultra cheap, trading at less than $3 a share. Now, it may seem crazy that such a stock exists, but it does. It's a cutting-edge tech company that has made deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars with Nokia, Microsoft, and Cisco, and a $29.2 billion deal with Apple. It's set to create 50,000 new jobs right here in America, and Donald Trump even calls it the eighth wonder of the world. Yet you've likely never even heard of this stock. Why? Because it trades under a secret name. To find out why the secret $3 stock can help you retire, simply go to OneStockRetirement.com. That's OneStockRetirement.com.
Stocks rallied to the highest levels in more than a month yesterday. Netflix leading a surge in high tech after it announced a hike in prices. Shares of Netflix up more than 6%. Despite winning control of the House, Democrats yesterday failed to pass a bill that they hoped would help reopen the federal government. The vote was 237 to 187, not enough to send the bill on to the Senate for a vote, where it would have surely failed. Meanwhile, moderate Democrats invited to the White House by the president, but the Democrats declined the invitation. The partial shutdown affecting ride-hailing services Uber and Lyft. The SEC is heavily backlogged, and the shutdown has delayed plans that would allow the firms to issue new public offerings. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
We all have the ability to touch the lives of those around us. To someone going through a difficult time, a text, a call, or a visit can mean so much. Reach out to the veterans in your life today. Let them know they're not alone. One simple act can make all the difference. That's the power of one. If you're a veteran in crisis or know one who is, visit veteranscrisisline.net for free 24/7 confidential support.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
My experience with Zach and Townstone was unbelievable. It was stress-free. That's like unheard of when purchasing a home. He informed me in the very beginning what I should expect, how long the process would ultimately be. He kind of held my hand the whole way. It was seamless. It was effortless. I never felt as though I was going into the next phase of the process blindly. Use Townstone. Ask for Zach Short.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I thought I had a sinus headache for a few days, but I had a massive brain aneurysm, hemorrhage of the brain, and a stroke. And I was on my deathbed. I was on a respirator in a coma for 35 days. And 3 months later, I came home in a wheelchair. I had double vision. I had to learn to walk again, to speak again. 1 and 1 is 2, write the alphabet. You know, if I went out and did a little something, I'd come home, I'd be in bed. Now I'm up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I go to the gym. I do shopping. I cook. I have energy all day. I mean, I feel great. Overall, my whole outlook, just feeling, my mental aspect, everything is better.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Day 26 with no end in sight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We've got to reopen the government. This isn't good for our safety as a nation. It's not good for our prosperity.
Democratic Senator Chris Coons on Fox and Friends.
You've got a Speaker of the House who's completely dug in, a President who's completely dug in, and clearly there's going to have to be a compromise.
President Trump invited some House Democrats to lunch at the White House to talk about funding the wall he wants, but none showed up. And the president just tweeted, there are now 77 major or significant walls built around the world, with 45 countries planning or building walls. It's up to 2,000 migrants in the new caravan headed to the U.S., now at the Honduras-Guatemala border.
Behind me, all the way down the road, hundreds of migrants in the caravan wanting to come, show their papers, and then get peacefully through. There's an agreement between Honduras and Guatemala to allow them to do so.
Fox's Griff Jenkins says police tear-gassed some men yesterday who caused trouble trying to get ahead of women and children. Terrorists went on the attack at a hotel in Nairobi, Kenya, killing 14 people, including an American. Security forces then killed the attackers. The day after British lawmakers rejected the plan on how to leave the European Union, another vote's coming. Fox's Simon Owen, live in London.
Dave, Prime Minister Theresa May saying she will listen to lawmakers after Parliament rejected her Brexit divorce proposal.
So that we can identify what could command the support of this House.
But opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn says May is in denial.
Can't she understand? Yesterday the House rejected her deal. She needs to come up with something different.
He has called a no-confidence vote in the government to be held later today. Dave?
Simon, there's another Democrat eyeing the White House.
I'm filing an exploratory committee for President of the United States tonight.
Senator Kirsten Gillibrand on the CBS Late Show among a few dozen Democrats either running or considering it. This is Fox News.
Clouds this morning, 35 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Looks like Hoffman Estates-based Sears will stay in business. Sears Holding Chairman Eddie Lampert has reportedly prevailed in a bankruptcy auction for the department store chain. Sources telling CNBC that Lampert improved his takeover bid to $5.2 billion to make the deal. 2 Chicago police officers are recovering following a crash on the south side near 114th and Carpenter. They were responding to reports of a shooting nearby. Funeral services are set for the Illinois State Trooper struck and killed by a vehicle over the weekend. Visitation for Chris Lambert will be held tomorrow at Willow Creek Church in South Barrington. A police car was involved in a crash on the way to responding to a structure fire at a Hobart tanning salon in Indiana Tuesday. 3 were transported to the hospital from that crash involving a squad car. Meantime, firefighters responded to a smoky blaze at the Copper Penny tanning salon in Hobart. Everyone in the building evacuated safely. Thousands of state Illinois workers are about to get a raise on the backs of taxpayers in the rest of the state. Governor J.B. Pritzker used his first full day in office yesterday to sign an executive order giving state employees their step raises. Those pay raises are simply based on longevity, not on merit. Pritzker is not saying how much his order will cost taxpayers, but the governor's office says the order does not cover the hundreds of millions that state workers allege they're owed from when Bruce Rauner was governor. Authorities investigating a possible child abuse case at a hospital in Aurora. Video posted on social media shows a woman dragging a 5-year-old boy by his hair inside the emergency room area at Rush Copley Medical Center on Monday. Lakers over the Bulls at Staples Center 107-100. College hoops last night. Notre Dame lost to number 15 North Carolina in the ACC. Our Northern Illinois Huskies beaten by Central Michigan. In the Valley, Loyola topped Valparaiso. The news service of P3 portable protein packs. Morning stress is here, and you can tackle it with P3 portable protein packs, a more interesting way to get your protein with its combination of meat, cheese, and nuts. P3's high protein will help you make it through whatever you need to face during the day. Get your morning going with P3. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The new year's upon us, the perfect time to get organized, and StoreLock has the solution with StoreLock Modular Systems. It's the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here. StoreLock makes it simple and easy to get organized. It's fully assembled when it ships, so you can get organized really fast. And durable StoreLock Modular Systems, they are built the old-fashioned way, made to order, exactly how you want it. Powder-coated in-house in any color you want. You order your custom system just in time for the new year. They're 100% crafted in the U.S., and they feature dividers, liners, layouts, all made with quality materials, including steel ball bearings and heat-treated steel rollers. StoreLock is so strong that each drawer holds up to 400 pounds. StoreLock fits any home or business, will last a lifetime with its 55-year top-to-bottom warranty. All you have to do is order today and receive your system in about 4 weeks. Call now at 1-800-STOR-LOC. That's StoreLock, 1-800-STORE-LOCK. And check out StoreLock.com for upcoming events.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-597-0315. That's 800-597-0315. 800-597-0315. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Get up and go. It's Apple Vacation's great winter event. Non-stop fun, adventure, sun-soaked beaches. Escape to your favorite tropical destination. It's all available now. Save hundreds, but hurry, the best hotels and prices won't last. 7 nights at Grand Bahia Principe Bávaro start from only $16.49. Or make it a week at Dreams Huatulco Resort and Spa starting from just $16.49. And with Apple Vacations, it's all included. Non-stop round-trip air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carey Travel Express at 847-639-3300 or visit careytravelexpress.com to book your trip today. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare to Punta Cana on Frontier starting February 4th and to Huatulco on Volaris starting February 9th and include taxes and fees including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
Rocket Mortgage is with you every step of the way to provide a seamless mortgage experience. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states, equal housing lender. NMLS number 3030.
7:08. Check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Fire in Northbrook this morning in the 2500 block of Melanie Lane. Several homes are ablaze. Crews are staging at Landwehr and Highland. Landwehr north of Willow Road. Hobart, fire last night affects 3rd Street in Center and Main. Inbound Edens, 21 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 22. Kennedy, 37 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 19 from Montrose, 16 on the Express. Outbound 30 to the airport. Eisenhower, 42 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 37. Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. Eastbound Adams Tollway, it's heavy 59 at Barrington Road after an earlier crash. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
Times of clouds and sun today, high 32. For tonight, cloudy and a low 24. Clouds and flurries tomorrow, high 34. Cloudy on Friday with a high 30. 3 to 6 inches of snow on Saturday, high 26. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
34 at O'Hare, 35 along the lakefront. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by On Target Radio. From firearms and Second Amendment rights to personal freedoms and government intrusions. Listen here Sunday nights at 9.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Yesterday, the mayoral parade of Horribles appeared before the Chicago Tribune editorial board. Every single one of them fiscal conservative, as you know.
Of course. They're very concerned about the budget, the future of the city. Oh, and real quick, breaking news. Chance the Rapper gave $400,000 to mayoral candidate Amara Enya.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, that allows her to play a little bit. He's going to have to probably multiply that by 5. I mean, if he really wants her to play, because she's going to need to get on the airwaves and the mailboxes and a little bit more of a digital presence, I presume. But hey, you know,
every bit counts.
Well, right, and when it's a race to 15% to make the runoff, you know, surprises are possible. Also, I know a big topic of concern for all in attendance was preventing future Ed Burkes.
Oh, right. Because we care about corruption now. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, Tony and Susie and Billy, Gary.
What about Gary?
Yeah. Very, very concerned about never having another Ed Burke darken our door here in the city of Big Shoulders. For more on the big ideas, the forward thinking that was evident before the Tribune's editorial board yesterday, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Kristen McQuarrie. She's a member of said editorial board. Kristen, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
So, I mean, where to begin? I know you had to do 2 panels, right, because of the amount of candidates?
3 panels.
Oh, 3 panels.
One yesterday, one today, and one on Thursday.
All right, so who give us the lineup for yesterday's panel, and you know,
start?
So yeah, pick anyone, and just give us a little bit of a reflection on that candidate.
Yesterday we had Bill Daley, Gary Chico, LaShawn Ford, Willie Wilson, and Tony Preckwinkle. So I would say maybe the most combative of the group out of the gate was Representative LaShawn Ford. He's a West Side state rep who sort of went after Bill Daley when Bill Daley kind of made an assertion that he was a self-made man, and he seemed surprised.
Okay.
He seemed surprised at some of I just asked questions about voters who might have reservations about putting another Daley in office, given some of the scandals under previous Daley administrations. But Bill Daley is running, saying, I'm proud of my family. Doesn't really deny that his name opened doors for him.
It's a great concession.
He's the only candidate in our group yesterday, and possibly in all of the candidates, who supports putting a constitutional amendment on the ballot to change pensions. He was sort of the most honest about this pension problem that the city faces, which the next mayor in his or her first budget will have to confront. So those are a couple highlights. Willie Wilson, of course, is always entertaining. He wants to lower taxes. He actually understands that lowering taxes would bring more businesses into the city. He won't release his own tax returns, however, even as he talks about all of the other candidates and their various conflicts. And then we talked quite a bit about Burke, and Tony Preckwinkle didn't really want to talk about how Burke's son got hired to a $100,000 gig in the county. But I think there's going to be some more coming out soon on that.
Well, what was her demeanor? Because she seems very standoffish lately. She always looks angry.
I don't think the Tribune editorial board is her favorite place to be. So
is she squirmish?
I wouldn't say squirmish. She is just very abrupt in her answering of questions, and she actually was pretty combative back and forth with Willie Wilson. They kept interrupting each other, and she was the target of a lot of the criticism because she's considered a front runner.
Well, good on Willie and LaShawn for not just sitting there and listening to those to regurgitate their talking points. Bill Daley, obviously the big issue. Do we find any common ground of the big issues facing the city, like whether or not to rename the Dan Ryan after Barack Obama?
That didn't come up. He has kind of thrown, the commuter tax idea he threw out didn't go over so well. Renaming the Dan Ryan, I'm not sure that's really going to solve the city's future problems. We did talk about just whether or not this moment of Ed Burke possibly facing an indictment. We know it's coming. He just at this point faces a criminal complaint. But whether or not this is a moment for true reshuffling of the council, if we're going to see a city council that actually acts as a check on the executive branch. I don't have high hopes, but there was a lot of talk of, finally removing some of these people who head budget committee and finance committee and replacing them with some of the more transparent or open to transparency aldermen. So we'll see. They are being forced to kind of commit to that.
Well, speaking of aldermen, Bill Daley wants to reduce the number of aldermen to 15. Did he expound on that and just talk about why he wants to do that and what'll save the taxpayers of Chicago?
He looks at it, he kind of looks at it as a cost saver. They each make about $110,000 a year. They have menu money. They have staff. So, we're talking, if it did shrink, a savings of more than $500,000. But in his mind, it kind of eliminates this feudal system where it worked 50 years ago because aldermen were responsible for everything in their wards, garbage removal, tree removal, and that system has been more centralized now with 311, and you don't need as many aldermen as you did before. But face it, they would have to decide to do that. It's a pipe dream. It sounds good. It's popular among voters, but I don't see the council agreeing to shrink itself.
What about replacing them all with those automated order takers like they have at McDonald's now, replacing the cashiers, and you just pay, you just put your money in and then you get your order. So that's what you do with the alderman anyway. You put your money in and then you get your permit, or you get whatever you need, or you get that garbage can delivered, or whatever it is you need. Has anybody proposed that?
I think a kiosk system would be something that maybe Chicago Party Ant would get behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
is
I
he
going to raise that issue with her?
Which panel is she on?
Yeah, which one?
We're hoping she comes on Thursday.
Really?
She's a little nervous about coming. She's already sent me a couple emails like what shoes should she wear and how long is it going to take, because she has an appointment I think at the Billy Goat afterwards. So we're still working on it.
Oh my God.
So
yeah.
So who is next, and then who's coming in?
Okay, so today we have Paul Vallis, Susanna Mendoza, Dorothy Brown, Bob Fioretti, and John Kosler, who is this candidate from Bridgeport who's run twice for alderman. He's very young, pretty outspoken, but we tried to, if you get on the ballot, we invite you in, and he's on the ballot.
What about Tiny Dancer? Is he going to be there at all to just provide, facilitation to ease the transition as he sets up the next mayor for success?
No, we had our farewell meeting with him maybe a week or so ago, and it was shortly after he announced his support also for a constitutional amendment for pensions, but we haven't heard anything since. So he's kind of on this farewell tour of, here are all the changes we need to make as I walk out the door. But so far he's really sort of been in the background on all of these campaigns. I'm told you would see a lot more money funneling to one or two of them if he was firmly behind someone. But his biggest concern, of course, is he doesn't want to be replaced by someone who's going to then undo his accomplishments or trash him. That's our history here, is you come in and you don't badmouth the person before you. So he would get behind whoever you see out there now.
Undo his accomplishments.
Really badmouth him.
What?
What a compliment.
Undo his
That
accomplishments.
would take a hot second.
Yeah.
So did you learn anything from anyone yesterday that you want to share with us? Or was it the same old, same old?
I wouldn't say it was. You do get a sense when they're in the room as to who would be ready to kind of take this ship over on day one, in whatever form that takes.
Let her answer.
And I don't want to say too much about what our impressions were, but you do get a sense of that, and you do get a sense of who is just really not ready. And this is probably not a race they should have jumped into. Maybe at this point.
All right, so
Names?
that knocks out Preckwinkle, Daly, Chico. Yeah, I think we're down to Willie and Chicago's Party Ant based on that standard. Here's a question for you though, because I know that all the candidates that are appearing before you are fiscal conservatives, so stipulated, no question about that. They're also education reformers, and so I don't know if this would come up, but with the LA teacher strike. This has provided the occasion for the Chicago Teachers Union, the Red Brigades, to start rattling their sabers, and they're already talking about what they want for their next contract. The current one expires June 30, so right around the corner. They want your standard, fair 5% pay increase, increased staffing, reduced class sizes, social demands like guaranteeing sanctuary status for undocumented students, increased availability of affordable housing citywide. Not sure what that has to do with education, but that's kind of sort of thing there. Class sizes capped at 24. A counselor for every 250 students. Got to staff up at CPS. They're a little understaffed there, and so financing CPS and I don't know, the $8 billion debt load they're carrying, and so on and so forth. The quality of schooling that's available at the neighborhood schools. Well, we've got a moratorium on charters there. Any of that part of the discussion among the education reformers, the first panel of education reformers?
We touched on it, but we didn't get much beyond elected versus appointed school board, which, as you know, is just kind of touching around the edges. We are going to get into that more deeply today because we have Paul Vallis in. I wondered when I watched the press conference or read about it, which was actually after our meeting yesterday, when someone is quoted as saying, we're going to tax rich people in order to make all these demands happen. I just wonder if that also applies to Jesse Sharkey, the president of CTU, who I understand lives in a home on the lake, which is at various times valued over $1 million and has married into a very wealthy capitalist family. I'm just wondering if it applies to him. We'll see.
And so it's a fair question. I wonder as well in the conversation about CPS. I mean, it's 85% minority children, So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're supposed to not care or we're supposed to say that all of the minorities who are in public offices in the city and the county have got it covered. I'm not sure which position we're supposed to take. I need some instruction on that. But there seems to be this running sex abuse scandal and cover-up over at least the last decade per your paper's investigations on the topic. And I wonder if anybody feels like that's an issue that should be addressed by those responsible.
It's a question that we continue to raise, and we will raise. It is astounding to me that it doesn't get as much attention, and it's not a daily pounding of city officials who clearly looked the other way, both at CPS and City Hall and the law department. So, I mean, the Tribune is on top of that story, and we continue to roll out more installments. But that absolutely should be and will be part of the conversation as far as we're concerned among the mayoral candidates.
Now, I know also we're going to expand gambling. That's everybody's on board for that. We're going to legalize
sports betting, legalize marijuana.
Well, sports betting, yeah, that's coming. Dope, right? Got your dope.
Marijuana.
Anything else that's illegal at present that anybody wants to legalize for more revenue for the city?
The only latest that I heard and a little bit more about yesterday was if you sell a home that's over $1 million, you're going to get hit with an additional fee. So it's just continually bashing wealthy and successful people. But I haven't heard anything new on those lines. But yes, all of these candidates are waiting to get a cut of whatever Springfield does. The real issue, though, is none of that. I mean, it's all silly to begin with. It is not structural change. It's not transformative. But also none of that is going to start flowing to city coffers in time for the next mayor to balance their first 1, 2, or 3 budgets. So it's really just it's a non-starter in terms of them talking about how are you going to actually present a balanced budget 6 months after you're sworn in, essentially.
Well, I can't wait. I would love to be a fly on the wall for today. Vallis, Susan Mendoza, Dorothy Brown, and Bob Fioretti. That's going to get it's going to get heated.
Well, yeah, not to mention because Dorothy Brown's got the solution to the budget problem.
Oh, that's right.
The naming rights to O'Hare and Midway. So you see,
well, sure.
Yeah.
And she has a goat business, which is just very intriguing.
Goat.
So she sells goat meat.
Yeah, goat meat.
The goats that they take from O'Hare to graze so the birds don't fly in the plains,
we don't need to get into where the goats come from.
She,
just don't worry about
fattens them up before the kill.
Bill Curtis has his grass-fed beef, and Dorothy Brown has her goats.
Meat. I mean, I've heard of goat milk and goat cheese. Who wants to eat goat meat?
And she's got a lot of
all the questions.
Yes, could you see if she makes goat tacos?
Well, and also too, I mean, then she can start like a shepherding apprentice program for the young kids, the kids in the urban center there. So that's
it's
nice.
all circular. Everything is circular in this city. If you haven't figured that out.
Well, Kristen, thanks so much for joining us. You've got sort of an embarrassment of riches over yesterday into the next 2 days with being able to.
So lucky.
Hold court with all of these dizzying intellects. So, enjoy the next 2 days and the last, 40 days of this election and the last 6 months of the city of Chicago's existence or so.
It's very entertaining.
Kristen McQuarrie, Chicago Tribune editorial board member. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're the best. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts GROW to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text GROW to 85850. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee, GROW to 85850.
As a listener to AM 560, I know that you've heard commercials for Balance of Nature, and after hearing all of the testimonials, many of you scratched your head, thought, are those, does that really happen? Does that product really work that well? Well, let me tell you, those testimonials are 100% real. I've met Dr. Howard, the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. We've spent some time together, and he's shown me the emails, and I listened to the voicemails that he gets every single day from real people who are living healthier lives because they've been taking Balance of Nature. Look, we're all busy. We are not eating properly. We don't eat enough fruits and veggies. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. It's real fruits and veggies in a capsule. It's packed with 30 fruits and vegetables, picked at the peak of freshness. Then they flash dry it there at their compound in Utah and ground it into a powder. It's easy to digest, and in a matter of days, you can start to notice a difference. Begin the new year by getting healthier with Balance of Nature. Get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Place an order by simply calling this number, 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Chicago for 35% off your first order of fruits and veggies. 1-800-246-8751 or balanceofnature.com.
If you're serious about improving your home, why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Oakbrook Home and Garden Show, January 19th and 20th at the Drury Lane Theater and Event Center. Come see hundreds of the latest home products and services for thousands of the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home. Speak with local and national experts who are eager to help you find the best solution for all your home improvement needs. You'll find everything for your home, from the ultimate in-outdoor furniture to the latest and greatest home appliances. And don't miss one of the many free, informative seminars running throughout the weekend, including expert advice on the latest in kitchen design presented by award-winning Normandy Remodeling. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find all at the Home and Garden Show, January 19th and 20th at Drury Lane, just north of the Oakbrook Shopping Center, with free admission and free valet parking. For more details, please visit oakbrookhomeshow.com. That's oakbrookhomeshow.com.
Guys, listen up. Brian Urlacher here. Yes, the one and only and formerly and famously bald Brian Urlacher. Well, not anymore. I went to restore and tackle my balding, and now I'm loving my full head of hair. What about you? Yes, you. Are you going bald? Tired of trying to cover up your thinning hair with hats and comb-overs? Finding hair in the sink and shower? Restore is here to help. I went to Restore and had the Restore method done. The Restore FUE method is incredible. They took hairs one by one from the back of my head and placed them in my balding areas in front. It's state-of-the-art, quick, easy, and it's your hair. Restore gave me my hair back, and I love it. I feel better with hair, and I look younger. You don't have to go through life bald if you don't want to. So why wait? Go to Restore, tell them Brian Urlacher sent you, and tackle your balding for good.
So make a New Year's resolution to regrow your hair at Restore. Call 800-881-8585 today and get $500 off your new head of hair. That's 800-881-8585. Call 800-881-8585 now.
AM 560, The Answer.
Mark your calendars, Tuesday, January 29th. That is when we are having our event, A Taste of Freedom. We can all go to a party together and watch the second State of the Union address by President Trump. We'll have dinner at 6:30. Then you'll have the State of the Union on the big screen at 8 o'clock. If you hurry, you can buy tickets to sit with us, Dan or Amy. We each have our own table this year. The event's going to take place at the Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Tickets start at just $64 and can be purchased at 560theanswer.com/taste. That's 560theanswer.com/taste. And hurry up if you want to sit with us or sit with Dan or sit with Amy, because we're going to be on opposite sides of the room, by the way. We're not going to be near each other, right? 560theanswer.com/taste. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Trump's AG nominee, Bill Barr, runs circles around the Senate Judiciary Committee. We'll discuss it at 7:37.
And later, who in the world would fatally shoot a service dog But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
I'll sit with the person who brings the best bottle of wine. So, you might want to up the ante. Who's going to bring the 64 Chateau? 35 degrees, cloudy skies. We're watching developments in Kenya this morning, where one American is among at least 15 killed in a terror attack on an upscale hotel in Kenya that happened yesterday. Brexit is in trouble. British Prime Minister Theresa May's deal on the terms of Britain's separation from the EU has gone down in flames in the British Parliament.
The ayes to the right, 202. The noes to the left, 432. So the noes have it. The noes have it.
Yesterday's vote, a big black eye for May. Before Senator Kamala Harris votes on Attorney General nominee William Barr, she wants to know his stance on marijuana legalization. In a Senate confirmation hearing yesterday, she also asked Barr if funding the border wall is the most effective way to keep drugs out.
Are you aware that most of the drugs that are trafficked into the United States enter through points of entry?
Yes.
Have you recently or ever visited a port of entry?
Not recently.
So a couple decades ago.
Almost 30 years.
She then urged him to visit a port, saying much has changed. House passes a resolution rejecting white nationalism and white supremacy in the wake of Representative Steve King's comments. King yesterday attempted to defend himself on the House floor.
That ideology never shows up in my head. I don't know how it could possibly come out of my mouth.
House Republican leadership has rebuked his comments, stripping him of committee assignments. As we've been reporting this morning, it looks like Sears will stay in business for now. Sears Holding Chairman Eddie Lampert has reportedly prevailed in his bankruptcy auction bid for the department store chain. Funeral services are set for the Illinois State Trooper struck and killed by a vehicle over the weekend in the northern suburbs. Visitation for Trooper Chris Lambert will be held tomorrow at Willow Creek Church in South Barrington. Chicago's Civilian Office of Police Accountability will not release video or audio tapes of the November shooting at Mercy Hospital that left a police officer, a doctor, a pharmacy resident, and the suspected shooter dead. Lakers beat the Bulls. College hoops last night, Notre Dame lost to number 15 North Carolina. In the Valley, Loyola topped Valparaiso. The news service of P3 portable protein packs, the more interesting way to get your protein. Tackle your mornings with P3 portable protein packs, a more interesting way to get your protein with its combination of meat, cheese, and nuts. P3's high protein will help you make it through whatever you need to face during the day. Get your morning going with P3. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. Today's fluctuating interest rates can leave you with unexpected higher mortgage payments. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates so you can buy a home with certainty. It's called Rate Shield, and here's how it works. With Rate Shield, you can lock your interest rate while you shop for a new home. So if rates go up, you don't have to worry. And here's the best part. If rates go down, you get the lower rate. With Rate Shield, we really have you covered. Here are more reasons why you'll want to work with America's largest mortgage lender. For 9 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 5th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Rate Shield. Another way we can save you money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Based on Rocket Mortgage data in comparison to public data records. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
My husband and I wanted to buy a new car, and we don't have very good credit ratings, so the bank recommended Trinity, so we called them. And the people were very nice. They told us the best solution for our problems.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
Trinity consolidated our bills, got us a lower interest rate, and a much better monthly payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
We feel much better now. Things are going pretty well. And since we've been with Trinity, our credit rating has really improved.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Ann, and we're debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
7:38. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Telemonti.
In Northbrook, there's a fire affecting 3 homes on Melanie Lane. It's not far from Landwehr, north of Willow Road. 53 has delays southbound this morning from 390 to 355. Northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway has slowed traffic. Army Trail to 290. The northbound Tri-State at Stop and Go LaGrange Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. On Edens, 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 40 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. The Eisenhower from 390 to downtown is 48 minutes, 29 from Manheim. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 23 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. Bishop Ford, 30. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, clouds and sun 32. Mostly cloudy 24 overnight, currently 32 degrees at O'Hare. Next news is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Having a fight with the new headphones? I do it every day.
Yeah, Dan and Amy and William Barr sat before the Senate Judiciary Committee yesterday. Trump's nominee for Attorney General, of course, and look, he's an old pro. He's a steady hand. He wasn't going to get tripped up no matter how pointed the questioning was from the likes of Kamala Harris. We'll get to her in a second. But he, I think, stole a lot of the Democrats' thunder with his opening statement as it pertains to Mueller.
Now, let me address a few matters I know are on the minds of some of the members of this committee. First, I believe it is vitally important that the special counsel be allowed to complete his investigation. I have known Bob Mueller for 30 years. We worked closely together throughout my previous tenure at the Department of Justice. We've been friends since, and I have the utmost respect for Bob and his distinguished record of public service. And when he was named special counsel, I said his selection was good news, and that knowing him, I had confidence he would handle the matter properly, and I still have that confidence today. Given his public actions to date, I expect that the special counsel is well along in his investigation. At the same time, the president has been steadfast that he was not involved in any collusion with Russian attempts to interfere in the election. I believe it is in the best interest of everyone, the president, Congress, and the American people, that this matter be resolved by allowing the special counsel to complete his work. The country needs a credible resolution to these issues, And if confirmed, I will not permit partisan politics, personal interests, or any other improper consideration to interfere with this or any other investigation. I will follow the special counsel regulations scrupulously and in good faith, and on my watch, Bob will be allowed to finish his work.
I think he's.
Ooh, they're so close. He called him Bob instead of Roberts.
I think he struck all the right notes, and also it's the substantively proper position. He did. The important phrase he mentioned, "on my watch." He will exercise oversight now, so we have an attorney general that's not recused from the special counsel's investigation. So that's good.
Yeah, and some Democrats that were concerned about his past criticism of the investigation, this 12-page memo that he wrote in June, basically 18-page stating, the fatally misconceived idea that a president could be charged with obstructing justice for firing the FBI director. So they thought that was bias in nature, but
no, that's the law in nature.
That's the law right.
And so they didn't really have anywhere to go on Mueller.
Well, they asked,
statement.
and they asked about the witch hunt.
Do you believe Mr. Mueller would be involved in a witch hunt against anybody?
I don't believe Mr. Mueller would be involved in a witch hunt.
Yeah, very precise answers. He was in charge, and he's been there before, as you mentioned. He's done this.
So we have to go to the issue of the day, and that's immigration, border wall funding. Barr has said previously that the real tragedy with respect to immigration, the real tragedy that occurs at the border, this is from 1994, is because of accidents of geography. We have people who are not willing to stand in line under the fair system but come crashing in the back door. We have laws on the books, and they have to be enforced. Well, golly, that's what Democrats were saying until Trump was elected, some of them at least. February 2017 op-ed in the Post, WAPO, Amazon Poe, Barr defended Trump's temporary travel ban for people from those half a dozen majority Muslim countries, saying that Trump had the constitutional authority to impose the ban, which he did, as the Supreme Court found, and just as he had the constitutional authority to fire the FBI director. He's also suggested that asylum claims need to be limited. I think one of the major problems is that immigration laws just have to be changed to provide sensible and common sense ways to process immigration and claims of asylum. People are abusing the asylum system, and he also is concerned, as is the president, about drug trafficking at the border. So he sees a humanitarian/law enforcement crisis at the border as well. And so this is where Kamala Harris chose to intercede. Kamala Harris, are you now or have you ever been a member of the Knights of Columbus? That Kamala Harris, the religious bigot, that one.
Are you aware that most of the drugs that are trafficked into the United States enter through points of entry?
Yes.
Have you recently or ever visited a port of entry?
Not recently.
So a couple decades ago.
Almost 30 years.
What does that have to do with, talk about grasping at straws. They just had to fill their time? Really.
What do you want me to do? Am I supposed to be one of the Minutemen at the border? I'm not a member of Border Patrol, Senator Harris.
Yeah.
To the issue, the immigration issue, just since we're on the topic. By the way, Barr's going to get confirmed.
He's going to have bipartisan support. It'll be confirmed in February.
We got another anecdote that does not rise to the level of data, per Nancy Pelosi. An illegal immigrant planning to flee Mexico arrested in Texas for sexually assaulting an 11-year-old child. Jose Manuel Tiscarino Hernandez has been deported multiple times before his arrest in Conroe, Texas, for the assault of a minor who was 11 years old when the abuse began, according to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. Making stuff up, demagoguing the issue, yeah? Since we're also on the topic of immigration reform, did you see this AP story? Did you know about this little wrinkle in the way we do immigration in this country? This is from the Associated Press, as I mentioned. Thousands of requests by men to bring in child and adolescent brides
Gross.
to live in the United States were approved over the past decade, according to government data obtained by AP. In one case, a 49-year-old man applied for admission for a 15-year-old girl.
And we allowed that?
The approvals are legal. The Immigration and Nationality Act does not set minimum age requirements for the person making the request or for the person's spouse or fiancé. By contrast, to bring in a parent from overseas, a petitioner has to be at least 21.
That makes no sense. And that's illegal here in the United States, so why would we allow them
Don't tell that to R. Kelly.
Hey-o, I see what you did there.
Or John.
By the way, they're raiding his warehouse.
Or John Wetland. Did you see that story? What the hell?
Wetland. What happened? Oh, the pitcher?
Yeah.
52-year-old pitcher. What did he? I don't know.
He was arrested Monday. Accusations he sexually assaulted a young child 3 times over 2 years, child younger than 14.
Ew.
I mean, hey, bae. But on this immigration topic, these are real issues, not just the humanitarian crisis because of our unwillingness to enforce the law, but just a comprehensive look at our laws. I mean, it's sort of borrowing from the rhetoric of the left, but our immigration legal regime is not consistent with this country's founding principles in a lot of different ways. And if we could, accomplish this first order priority of security, then maybe we could get to some of these other things, too, that sicken you when you hear them, regardless of your party affiliation. Like, I presume, the idea that we're allowing individuals to emigrate to this country with their child brides in violation of state and federal law when they get here. How much sense does that make?
That's so disgusting.
Right, but it's also, think about this. These are the policymakers.
I'm going to kidnap you and take you to America. We're going to have a great new life.
This is left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing.
Right.
You have federal laws in conflict with one another.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
This is Dr. Bob Marshall. Quantum reflex analysis stands heads above other therapies in its ability to tell us what your body needs. It is a simple yet profoundly effective system of testing the bioenergetic status of the body's key organs and glands using a university-proven muscle testing technique of medically accepted acupuncture reflex points. Dr. Mike Andriano of Trinity Holistic Health Center is trained and certified by me as a Cure8 practitioner, and I highly recommend him. Give Dr. Andriano a call today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Andriano. Sometimes traditional medicine is not the answer to your health issues, and you may need to look to alternative practices to overcome your challenges. At Trinity Holistic Health Center, we've been helping patients to conquer their biggest health issues and put them on a path to a healthier life. As a partner of Dr. Marshall's, we offer his nutritional protocols that we've been using for years. Get your life back. Call now for a free consultation. 773-786-2722 or visit trinityholistic.com.
My pillow, my pillow, my pillow. I can't sleep without my pillow. I love it. And right now you can get the My Pillow 4-pack. 2 premium My Pillows, 2 Anywhere Go My Pillows, plus free shipping, all for the normal price of 1 premium My Pillow. As you've been hearing me tell you for years, they're the best pillows money can buy. The bottom line is you'll sleep better, you will feel better. And My Pillow is washable, dryable, has a money-back offer if you're not happy, but I know you will be. And here's more good news. You can still get 30% off everything else, including the My Pillow mattress topper, also washable and dryable, and those pet beds. I love it. Bunky always gets that pet bed dirty, and I don't have to throw it out like I used to throw out other pet beds. I just simply put it in the washer and dryer. And their sheets, pillowcases, to die for. So go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in that promo code, and you'll get 30% off. Or get the My Pillow 4-pack, 2 premium My Pillows, 2 Go Anywhere My Pillows, plus free shipping, all for the normal price of 1 premium My Pillow. Best offer. Can't get it in the store. MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Attention maintenance coordinators. Fans are a vital part of your business's building or factory. You've got to keep the air moving. But when they break down or need service, who can you call? Vans Industrial repair all types of fans, from small wall fans to large air movers.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Fan repair is one of many services that Vans offers. If you have a fan with a damaged shaft, bearing, impeller, or housing, we can help. And if you need a new fan, we handle all major brands and can provide engineering assistance assistance to properly size your new fan. Our crews can respond to your emergencies or routine maintenance and will have your fan back up and running fast. And when we're done repairing your fan, we can also dynamically balance it so it runs smooth for years to come.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND to get your fan repaired today. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing mortgage? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. And we have some news. To provide listeners additional financing options and lower rates, Team Hochberg is now originating loans at Homeside Lending. Team Hochberg's Chicago-based loan officers and in-house underwriters can approve loans within days of receiving a complete file form from their borrowers. In the coming weeks, David will highlight Homeside's proprietary new loan programs like cash-out refinances up to 95% of the value of your home with a minimum 680 credit score and construction to permanent loans on both FHA and VA loans. Team Hochberg's new toll-free number is 855-56-DAVID or online at 56david.com. Team Hochberg loan officers David Hochberg, Kevin Kokeman, Lynn Dragujian, Jose Rodriguez. And the list is just too long to name them all, but they're all great people.
Lynn Akuna Matata?
No, Takarut. Remember I showed you this word.
Yeah, remember I
and you said
helped you pronounce it?
Takruditang. Takruditang? Maybe?
Okay, Aldamato. All right, just finish the
There's
read.
Thomas Byrne and Cindy Piazza and J.P. Marzano and Anna Eckroth. They have helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, MB 6761019, and MLS 1124061.
Don't miss Dr. Duke Pesta, one of America's foremost authorities on the dangers of Common Core education. Hosted by Kingswood Academy in Darien on Friday evening, January 25th at 6:30. Dr. Pesta will reveal the chilling truth behind the Common Core national educational standards. You won't want to miss this special presentation exposing the real truths about Common Core. Register to hear Dr. Pesta at kingswoodacademy.org. That's kingswoodacademy.org.
Hi, I'm Glenn Papura, principal at Kingswood Academy. We're a Catholic grade school that uses a virtue-based curriculum. We believe in forming each child's intellect and character through classical literature, Latin, and logical reasoning, while also giving due attention to math and the sciences. In our morally sound and spiritually enriching environment, children learn to think for themselves and benefit from a low teacher-to-student ratio. I invite you to attend our open house on Sunday, January 27th. For more information, visit kingswoodacademy.org. That's kingswoodacademy.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer. I have fibromyalgia. I have nerve damage and fatigue. I have thalassemia. I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt it the first month. I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan, I'm going to make you care about those furloughed workers.
Look, I stipulate to, hey, I want everybody to get paid for work they do. I know this is difficult on some people. However, when you are radically overstating the case, it really cuts against the empathy. And stories like this, more virtue signaling, corporate blather, Kraft Heinz.
Right.
Going to pass out free mac and cheese to furloughed workers.
That's great. There's a lot of places doing that. There's a restaurant in Miami that's handing out free lunch every day to TSA workers to keep them happy and to keep them fed because they're working for free. Greater Food Depository in Chicago is setting up a program. There's food banks all over the country that are helping out people in need. People like Liz Runge, single mom, furloughed.
It's important that the people maybe that aren't so affected by it, whether, they don't have a government job or they've never received assistance, they need to see the faces of the people that it is affecting.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people out there suffering.
He's earning his paycheck, but he's just not getting it.
The shutdown isn't just a Washington, D.C. problem. It's affecting real people here in Iowa.
Getting our pay stubs on Thursday and seeing $0 is just very disheartening.
Now the Coast Guard's not going to get paid either.
Yeah, one paycheck and starvation has set in among the federal workforce. That's absurd.
They're malnourished.
Yes, right. Here's another observation from Tom Lifson over at American Thinker. That's a good one. Employees already furloughed can be laid off. They can be RIF'd, reduction in force, once they've been furloughed for 30 days or 22 work days. 30 calendar days or 22 work days, and they can be RIF'd. Maybe it's a good time to reduce the size and scope and number of personnel at the federal level. Maybe the federal government shouldn't be the number one employer in Chicagoland, for example. Maybe a lot of these non-essential employees, and it's nothing personal, but they're tax eaters in jobs that just shouldn't exist. And maybe it's time for that conversation, too. Amid all of this virtue shaming hysteria. Give me a break.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we'll pick up the discussion of Gillette and Harry's at 8:08.
And who paid for that big party? But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
A funeral set for a state trooper killed by a car on the Tri-State Tollway. Ethics reform discussed at a mayoral forum, and the Bulls lose to the Lakers. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Will anyone budge anytime soon? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's day 26 of the partial government shutdown and a standoff over border wall funding. Democratic Senator Chris Coons wants
the president to agree to reopen the government and let us begin working. I don't expect the president to capitulate. I do expect him to compromise.
Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The president tweeting, "It is becoming more and more obvious that the radical Democrats are a party of open borders and crime. They want nothing to do with the major humanitarian crisis on our southern border." White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders weighed in on the shutdown on Fox News.
The fundamental thing that the president has been 100% clear on is we have to have what the people at the border, the Customs and Border Patrol agents have told us they need.
Revised White House estimates now say the shutdown has already weighed significantly on economic growth. Dave?
John, some furloughed government workers have been called back to work, though still without pay. Thousands at the IRS, the FAA, and the FDA. A company called Rally House in Kansas City, Missouri, has been hiring other furloughed federal workers as temps.
They said, "When could you start?" And I said, "Well, I could start right now."
Because Jennifer Morris's job at the EPA is on hold. Another Democratic senator wants to be president.
Taking on the corruption and greed in Washington, taking on
The special interest.
Kirsten Gillibrand announced her exploratory committee for 2020 on the CBS Late Show. Gillibrand among a few dozen Democrats either running or considering it. Tens of thousands of teachers will be picketing again today in Los Angeles, day 3 of their strike.
It's really hard because I want this to end. I want my teachers back. I want everything to be normal.
Well, some classrooms have substitutes, but student attendance is way down, a quarter of what it normally is. Well, this is good for tens of thousands of Sears and Kmart workers. The company's chairman has won the bankruptcy auction, though it still needs court approval. The $5+ billion bid would keep the struggling retailers' stores open. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 32 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer, good morning. I'm Mike Scott. It looks like Sears will be staying in business for now. Sears Holding Chairman Eddie Lampert has reportedly prevailed in a bankruptcy auction, a bid for the department store chain. Sources telling CNBC Lampert improved his takeover bid to $5.2 billion to make the deal. 2 Chicago police officers are recovering following a crash on the south side. The accident happened early this morning when officers were responding to a shooting near 114th and Carpenter. Funeral services are set for the Illinois State Trooper who was hit and killed by a vehicle over the weekend in the northern suburbs. Visitation for Trooper Chris Lambert will be held tomorrow at Willow Creek Church in South Barrington. A police car was involved in a crash on its way to responding to a structure fire at a Hobart tanning salon Tuesday evening. 3 were transported to the hospital from that crash. That involved a squad car near Lake Park Avenue and 3rd Street. Candidate for mayor Toni Preckwinkle is planning to raise Chicago's minimum wage if she's elected. At a mayoral forum yesterday, nearly all of the candidates seeking the 5th floor office at City Hall back a $15 an hour pay hike, except for former police superintendent Gary McCarthy. Lakers over the Bulls, 107-100 last night. Blackhawks traveling to face the Rangers. Bears losing more of their defensive staff to the Broncos. Defensive backs coach Ed Donatel has been hired by Denver as their defensive coordinator. College hoops last night in the Valley. Loyola beat Valparaiso. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Sears will stay in business with a smaller version of the company. Sears Holdings CEO Eddie Lampert's bid to save the company won the bankruptcy auction. Lampert's ESL Holdings wants to keep about 400 stores open. He's also buying the Kenmore and Die Hard brands. The plan could save as many as 50,000 jobs. Ford says business was weaker than expected at the end of last year. Ford has been making changes to phase out most of its cars and focus on SUVs and trucks. It's expecting sales to remain the same this year, but it could see earnings improve. Ford's chief financial officer, Bob Shanks, says it was dealing with a number of issues, including a decline in business in China. Bank of America is reporting a stronger than expected quarter. The bank says it was helped by the corporate tax cut and also by higher interest rates. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
8:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
President Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address on Tuesday, January 29th. And to mark the occasion, AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Enjoy dinner and drinks as you watch the speech with fellow AM 560 listeners. Tickets are on sale now for just $64 at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson with a great way to start a new year. Get the MyPillow 4-pack. You'll be so happy with 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, plus free shipping, all for the normal price of 1 premium MyPillow. You know, I've been telling you for years that they're the best pillows money can buy. The bottom line is you will sleep better and feel better. MyPillow is washable, dryable, and has a money-back offer if you're not happy. And here's more good news. You can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper and pet beds that you've heard me rave about. Just be sure to use the promo code Amy to get the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and the 30% discount on everything else, including mattress toppers and pet beds. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And don't forget to use the promo code Amy. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a SelectQuote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-597-0315. That's 800-597-0315. 800-597-0315. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
It's 8:07. A check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
CTA red line trains are stopped at 35th with police activity in Northbrook. Fire crews are staging at Landwehr and Highland. This is north of Willow to a fire on Melanie Lane. About Eden's 20 minutes like Cook to Montrose outbound 36th. Kennedy 55 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Heavier in the express, outbound 35 minutes. About Eisenhower, Mill Road, there's a crash in the right lane. Delays start on southbound 53 at Higgins. It's an hour from 390 to downtown, 35 minutes from Manheim, outbound 45 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 29 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop, 436. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
And Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Times of clouds and sun today, high 32. It'll be cloudy tonight, low 24. Clouds and a few flurries for tomorrow and a high 34. Cloudy skies for Friday and a high 30. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Chilly out there, 32 at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30, Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Got an interesting tweet on the Gillette ad topic.
Yeah.
I don't understand people seeking out viewing an advertisement that isn't funny. So glad I haven't watched it. You don't understand people seeking out viewing the Gillette ad, especially because it isn't funny. I guess my response to that would be, if you ignore cultural rot, does the culture yet rot? If the answer to that is yes, then perhaps instances like the present Gillette ad and, as we found out, a previous Harry's ad,
that they yanked yesterday,
should be confronted and discussed, not ignored. I mean, if you think, culture and the values reflected in societal interaction are important, I suppose. So interesting, because it turns out companies spend millions and millions of dollars advertising on television and elsewhere because it's persuasive, because it has impact. You know what I mean?
And maybe Gillette just did this to get attention because they are getting a lot of attention around the world for this ad. Not an ad, by the way, that didn't show one razor. It's all right. They had another premise.
What I've seen, at least at the outset of the show, about 10 million views on their YouTube channel for their ad, running about 2.5 to 1 thumbs down. I suppose that's some modest positive takeaway. The other thing I mentioned, Harry's, just in case people are shopping for a new purveyor of razors and shaving products. Harry posted, Harry's the, razor outfit, tweeted a year ago November, "Today is International Men's Day. Believe it or not, that's a thing. Now more than ever, being a man demands introspection, humility, and optimism. To get a better tomorrow, we need to take a look at today." Boy, it's very Hallmarkian. And at the misguided stereotypes that got us here in the first place, David French picked this up at NRO, and he suggests that this Harry's offering that has since been taken down because Harry's is trying to capitalize on what Gillette's done to themselves is actually worse than the Gillette ad, because he suggests the Harry's message is good things are bad. What the Harry's ad did, since it's no longer available, is post aspirational male-oriented statements like be tough, be a rock, be a man, be the breadwinner, and cross them out. French characterizes that as almost like a parody of modern woke attacks on masculinity. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by the executive director of Touchstone Magazine. He's Doug Johnson, and he's the friend I mentioned yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
With the alternative ad that could be done, reclaiming masculinity and pointing out maybe some of the sources of these problems that Gillette tried to highlight in their ad, of predatory male conduct. Perhaps people take a little walk down memory lane of the last 2 years. You'll remember the things in common between a Harvey Weinstein and a Kevin Spacey and a Matt Lauer and a Charlie Rose and every other predatory male in Hollywood media, feminist men of the left, if you will. Doug Johnson, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Dan.
So you wrote a piece last year about the feminist man, the feminist gentleman. What is the feminist gentleman? Because a lot of men these days, men of the left, influencing men across the spectrum, want to be considered feminist gentlemen.
Right. I took the phrase from an essay by Whittaker Chambers, who said when he was at Columbia, there was this, and I'm forgetting the phrase that they used, but there was a phrase one of his professors used to say, men of a certain stature and of a certain that have reached a certain rank and sociability in academia should have a certain freedom to do what they want. So that the men like Charlie Rose and Matt Lauer and those you're talking about, and we saw the impact of it. That an elite, invariably very left wing male should have a little bit more freedom to do what he wants in the world.
So this is Thomas Frank wrote about this, a man of the left. What's the matter with Kansas? When Harvey Weinstein was first exposed, pun intended, and he basically said the Hollywood people like Harvey Weinstein, they're feminists. Harvey Weinstein's famous initial statement about how he's focused on going after the NRA, being a man of the left, being a feminist man in a place like Hollywood, was the way to get the license to behave like the cretin that Harvey Weinstein was.
Exactly. And also, let's take it from another angle with feminism. Alice von Hildebrand, she has a great interview with Eric Metaxas, and you can see online. And she makes the point that feminism is the enemy of femininity. That, the idea of a woman who preserves her femininity, who demands a lot from a man in terms of manners and proper behavior, that is the enemy of feminism. And it's a huge benefit to the man on the make, which is what the Harvey Weinsteins and the Matt Lauers are. So yeah, it cuts across both sexes.
All right. Well, with this Gillette ad, what bothers you most?
Oh my goodness! I mean, what bothers me most is that it seems to be so. Well, it's a couple things. It's so focused on stirring hatred. I mean, and what's fascinating to me about it is there's no way this came as a surprise. I assure you. Gillette with $40 billion in sales and part of the Procter & Gamble empire, they knew full well the reaction would be wholly negative. They focus grouped it fully, and they said, look, people are going to be yelling and screaming about this. We'll get our name out there. We'll be on every news program. Maybe we'll pull it in a few days and say we'll do an apology or something. But they're saying the way to make money is to go after not just men, and specifically in that ad, they really wanted to go after white men. Not in the text of the ad, but in the images if you watch it play by play. So we got to the point where, hey, you want to make money? Really make people hate each other. And I'm apparently they believe this will work, and they know more about it than I do, so maybe it will. But I mean, I just can't imagine ever putting down money for a Gillette product again.
Well, could you think maybe they're targeting women since we make 85% of the purchasing products in our home, that maybe they're reaching out to us like, hey, men can do better. Men can be better, not just men. And I know it was, dumbing down of your behavior for older gentlemen, but for younger, prepubescent teens or young teenage boys, for them to see that ad, I didn't think it was a bad idea. I showed it to my 2 sons.
And you liked it? You personally liked the ad?
There's one part I didn't like about the TV sitcom where the guy was squeezing the maid's butt or motioning that he was doing that. I thought that was stupid because, as we've broken down, a few times there, that TV sitcom never existed.
Right, and then immediately after that, they cut to the audience, which is exclusively white men who are all laughing their heads off. Pretty much older white men. I think you're right that the ad, they said, hey, look, I think that was undoubtedly part of the calculation, that women would respond to this hatred of men and white men obviously more than men would. But I honestly, I'm a little baffled. I mean, I am baffled. When I'm watching I watched a lot of online commentary about it. One of the left-wing show, Young Turks, they're featured on the ad, and they are livid that people are upset about the ad, even though on the first day it was about a 9-1 downvotes versus upvotes on YouTube. Now, after all the hullabaloo yesterday, now it's about 7-1. And then even on like a really left-wing paper like The Guardian in England, and this was produced in England, the ad by a company called Some Such, even there it's 2-1, the downvotes to the upvotes on the video. So the reaction, you're probably right, that you're undoubtedly right that they're counting on men or women liking the message of this hatred, but I just don't see it. I stand corrected if their sales go up, but we'll see what happens.
Well, maybe when they followed up with the a tutorial on the Knights of Columbus, maybe that could be their next ad featuring Kamala Harris or something like that. Another group that it's okay to as you said, induce hate in the direction of. With respect to the idea of the gentleman, part of it seems to me is just sort of taking a step back and saying, isn't it an amazing point that we are in our culture where you have some people saying, thank you to Gillette, Our Lady of Gillette, for instructing America and American men on how to be civilized beings.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, even the idea of advertising, we're going to educate you what's wrong with you, and here you go, and please take this lesson. Be better than the horrible person that you are. And as they say in the ad, we're not saying all men are bad. Some of them are good. And they actually use that. They say some are good. So now go out there and buy our products. Hey, they must know this is going to work. We'll see. I'll be baffled if it does. But I mean, the New York Times. This is hardly a fringe thing. The New York Times editorial board hired a woman for their board, Sarah Jeong, who has not one or two, but literally hundreds of tweets saying how much she hates men, in particular white men. She described them as she says they're genetically predisposed to being goblins groveling beneath the earth. I mean, that's a little much. That's about as mainstream as you get. New York Times editorial board in terms of the reach of their message.
Well, I mean, what the hell? We're about to have a march on this weekend, even though that has been, even though the DNC and all these left-wing groups have walked away from it because the anti-Semitism endemic to the Peahat March is so high profile, so public now that they can't endure it, these other left-wing groups that would otherwise turn a blind eye to it, so they're pulling out. But you're still going to have tens of thousands, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of women running around in Peahats cheering Ashley Judd and Madonna on this weekend.
Please don't tell me Ashley Judd's coming back. But
That's-
I wonder
that's
how
not
many
the point.
repeat customers that they're going to have. You know, like how many people are going to come back there at the march last year.
But my point is the fact it's happening. And you want to, it's like this is not, to your point, Doug, this is not a fringe New York Times editorial board. I mean, it's a populist movement. It's not just for, elites at high-minded, quote-unquote, high-minded institutions.
Yeah, and look at, I don't have a TV, but I happened to see one the other day, and I saw Matt Lauer is still apparently working at NBC. So there's not really, what are the repercussions to this? At least I thought it was him, who I saw.
They all look alike. Those white guys.
It is stunning, and we'll just have to sit back and wait and see. How the market responds.
So I read the little script that you came up with as a counter ad, but I mean the point here, if the idea is to raise civilized young men to be civilized adult men. What's the model to follow if it's not the instructions provided by Gillette?
The model to follow. Now I work with Touchstone magazine, and so the easy answer is the model to follow is Christ. And now that's a little bit too quick because the Bible, Scripture in general, lays out page after page of models of what is expected of men as men and as women as women. And we've followed that for 3,000 years. And it's only been really in the last 100 years that the wheels have really started to fall off of that. There's always been problems. But what's taken as axiomatic today wouldn't even been thought of. I mean, if you even went back to your most left-wing politicians of 15 years ago, none of them in a million years would have been walking around saying, I stand for men who cross-dress as women. And that's what we have to all be about today. So there's a way that's caught them up. There's no constraint. And you have to have something that constrains you in your life. That as gentlemen, that you're part of being a gentleman, or central to being a gentleman, is having something higher than yourself as an autonomous man, that you owe an allegiance to something. And that's what we get to the church.
He is Doug Johnson. He's executive director of Touchstone magazine, which you should check out. Highly recommend. Doug, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for having me on.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Get up and go. It's Apple Vacation's great winter event. Non-stop fun, adventure, sun-soaked beaches. Escape to your favorite tropical destination. It's all available now. Save hundreds, but hurry, the best hotels and prices won't last. 3 nights of unlimited luxury in Cancun at Secrets Playa Mujeres Golf and Spa Resort start from only $879. Or make it 7 nights at Riu Palace Costa Mujeres starting from just $10.99. And with Apple Vacations, it's all included. Non-stop round-trip air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carey Travel Express at 847-639-3300 or visit careytravelexpress.com to book your trip today. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare to Cancun on Frontier starting February 10th and include taxes and fees including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
Hey, as a listener to AM 560, I know that you've heard commercials for Balance of Nature. And after hearing all the testimonials, you probably wonder, is that really possible? Does that product really work this well? Well, according to Dr. Howard, who's the founder and creator of Balance of Nature, the testimonials are true and 100% real. I've spent some time with him and his wife and his son, and they've shown me the emails. I've heard the voicemails that they get every single day from real people who are living healthier lives because they've been taking Balance of Nature. Look, we are all busy. And very few of us are eating enough fruits and vegetables. Come on. Be truthful with yourself. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. It's real fruits and veggies in a capsule. It's packed with 30 fruits and vegetables, picked at the peak of freshness, then flash dried and ground into a powder. It's easy to digest, and in a matter of days, voila, you can start to notice a difference. Begin the new year by getting healthier with Balance of Nature. Plus, when you go to balanceofnature.com, type Chicago in that promo code, 35% off your order. Balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
If you think all banks are the same, it's time to think about Signature Bank Chicago. I'm Pete Olson, head of commercial banking at Signature Bank, where the people who own the bank operate the bank. Not in an abstract way, but in the same hands-on, personalized way that you run your business. We don't rely on a legion of business developers to find new relationships. We don't trust an outsourced phone bank to address your customer service needs, and we don't delegate decision-making to some anonymous credit committee that you'll never meet. We do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you don't succeed, we don't succeed. Call us today to see the Signature Bank difference.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up with water. Like our client Kim from Mount Prospect.
We had chronic basement flooding and no one could figure out why. During a huge storm, water was pouring in through the window wells of our finished basement and we had to bail out 6 inches of water. We got a bunch of estimates, but Gus's was the most reasonable, plus he knew exactly what the problem was. He put in a full basement drain tile system and an additional sub pump with a backup battery. Chicagoland Waterproofing gave us peace of mind. I like to say, in Gus we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we have to deal with so much I'm trying to direct you away from. How about someone I'm trying to direct you to? Fox News profiled him, and good on them. Caleb Hanna is not your typical college student, 19. He's making history as the nation's youngest black legislator. He's a state legislator in the West Virginia House of Delegates. Ran on a platform of supporting God, guns, and babies.
Good for him.
Pro-life.
What's his name again? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Caleb Hanna, pro-life, Christian, conservative, African-American state legislator in West Virginia, says God influences everything he does. I believe God comes first and foremost in every policy decision I should make. And again, God's, guns, and babies was his platform. That's pretty straightforward. Boy, Caleb Hanna.
Someone you should know.
Absolutely.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Why does Protect Our Parks want to put a wrinkle in the Obama land development? We'll ask its president, Herb Kaplan, at 8:38.
And on his first day in office, J.B. Pritzker signs 2 executive orders, and we'll tell people who paid for that elaborate party. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Gray skies, 31 degrees. Attorney General nominee William Barr's confirmation hearing enters day 2 at this hour. Barr selected by President Trump to replace Jeff Sessions as the head of the Justice Department and had previously served as Attorney General under President George H.W. Bush. El Chapo could take the witness stand in his drug trafficking trial underway in Brooklyn. If he does, the accused drug kingpin will have to answer questions about an enormous bribe paid to former Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto. Joaquin Guzman's one-time associate dropped that bombshell testimony yesterday, claiming El Chapo once paid Nieto $100 million to look the other way. Kenyan officials reporting the attack on a hotel complex in Nairobi has ended with 14 killed, including 1 American. killed when armed men stormed that complex yesterday, holding off police for hours. New York Democrat Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is coming to Iowa. She gets ready to run for president, she says. Gillibrand announced the formation of a presidential exploratory committee last night. Crews are still on the scene mopping up after a 2-alarm blaze in Northbrook. Blaze started just after 6 a.m. in the 2500 block of Melanie Lane. Fires believed to have started at one house, quickly spreading to 2 adjacent houses. One house is completely destroyed. Looks like Sears will stay in business for now. Sears Holding Chairman Eddie Lampert has reportedly prevailed in a bankruptcy auction bid for the department store chain, $5.2 billion. Candidates running for mayor of Chicago calling for ethics reform in response to the federal corruption charge against Alderman Edward Burke. During a Tribune editorial board forum yesterday, Tony Preckwinkle, LaShawn Ford, Willie Wilson, Gary Chico, and Bill Daley say they all favor a ban on outside income for aldermen. Preckwinkle was then pressed on how to deal with corruption in city government.
I think that the critical issue here, if we're going to prevent future Ed Burkes, is that we say that you cannot, if you're an elected official in Chicago, have outside employment. I never have.
All but Preckwinkle push for the elimination of so-called aldermanic privilege, which gives city council members veto power over zoning and permits in their wards. Chicago sports, Lakers over the Bulls, 107-100. The Bears losing more of their defensive staff to the Broncos. D-backs coach Ed Donatel hired by Denver as their defensive coordinator. College hoops in the Valley was Loyola topping Valparaiso. The news service of InvisibleFence.com. Millions of pet parents trust Invisible Fence brand with their pets. Invisible Fence, Consumer Digest awarded Boundary Plus technology, guaranteed to protect your pet from escaping while providing them the freedom they deserve. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. That's InvisibleFence.com. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager backs the president's convictions.
Reality trumps Trump. He had no convictions of which I was aware, and I opposed him vociferously when he was running for the nomination for president. Since he's been president, he has been a man of conservative convictions, the likes of which I have only seen once in my lifetime in a leader called Ronald Reagan.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Dan Proft here, and I want to tell you about a pro-life organization that's very near and dear to me, Aid for Women. Did you know that 1 out of 4 pregnancies in Cook County ends in abortion? Aid for Women is fighting the abortion battle on the front lines. 5 pregnancy care centers and 2 maternity homes in the Chicago area. Because of the passage of House Bill 40 in Illinois, women on Medicaid can get abortions on demand, free of charge throughout the state. As a result, while Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry are closing clinics throughout the rest of the country, they're actually expanding in Illinois. Women can even come here from out of state to get free abortions, all on Illinois taxpayers' dime. We cannot let the abortion industry take over our local communities. Few people know that pro-life pregnancy centers exist to accompany women in unexpected pregnancies. For more than 40 years, Aid for Women has helped women choose life. Your support is vital, and together we will save lives. Go to helpaidforwomen.org and commit today to more actively live out your pro-life convictions. Again, the website helpaidforwomen.org. Please help Aid for Women save lives in Illinois.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
It is 8:36. Let's get a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Southbound 53 traffic is stop and go from Higgins to the inbound Eisenhower at Mill Road, where there was an earlier crash. The inbound Ike, we look at a travel time of an hour, 390 to downtown, 35 minutes from Manheim, outbound 45 to 390. Inbound Edens is 19 minutes, Lake Hook to Junction, outbound 36. Kennedy, 55 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, but takes longer in the express lanes. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 36 minutes, 95th to downtown. Eastbound 390, heavy medium to 290 after that crash on the inbound Ike. Northbound Tri-State, bottled up 95th to 75th. The Stevenson to 31st, and the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, clouds and sun with a high of 32 today. Cloudy and 24 overnight. 32 right now. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, last fall, Protect Our Parks filed a lawsuit against Obamaland, essentially. A lawsuit to prevent Obamaland's, what they call illegal land grab in Jackson Park, 19 acres of Jackson Park being turned over to the Obama Foundation to create this wonderland of Obamaland. We're all obviously looking forward to that. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to have golf course. You're going to have green spaces on the roof.
Yeah.
There might be a bar there. Ice skating in the wintertime, sledding.
So what kind of right-wing fanatic would attempt to rain on this lovely parade that's being planned with the advent of Obamaland in Chicago? Another great feature to keep people in Chicago and Illinois. Tourism dollars, could you imagine, the world over? It's going to remedy all of our problems, from unfunded pension liabilities to confiscatory property taxes. All will be solved, much as it was by President Obama, by Obamaland. So what on earth would possess somebody to prevent the ushering in of a utopian era in Chicago? Herb Kaplan is the president of Protect Our Parks, and he joins us now. Herb, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. Hello, Herb.
Herb.
I want to thank you for the opportunity to
Sure.
describe what the lawsuit is all about.
Sure.
First of all, it has nothing to do with being right-wing or extreme or anything. It's not. The lawsuit is not political. It's not racial. It simply has to do with protecting something that's a gem in Chicago. You know, a lot of people don't realize what's happening in Jackson Park. It's actually an attempt to steal public park land for what is essentially a private purpose that will not serve any of the objectives that are being described by its promoters.
Well, the objectives described by its promoters are what, and why will it not serve those purposes?
Well, the whole project has been presented like it's going to be some sort of investment that's going to create income and jobs and prosperity for people living in Woodlawn and South Shore. But the location of this Obama Center in Jackson Park is actually destructive of what is an amenity for people who are living on the South Side. If the Obama Center were built actually in a neighborhood that's in need of investment, where it would actually create new jobs, new businesses, new jobs, new opportunities, it would be altogether different. And our lawsuit is not opposed to building an Obama Center. The lawsuit is only directed to the fallacy of building it in a historic, landmark, dedicated public park property.
Yeah.
And by trying to put this Obama Center in Jackson Park, it's stealing public park land from the taxpayers who pay the park district to maintain and support the park system, including Jackson Park.
Well, where do you think Obama land should be built?
Well, there's so many other really ideal locations, actually, on the south side. The University of Chicago was one of the instigators of building the Obama Center in Jackson Park. But the University of Chicago owns all sorts of property in Hyde Park and Woodlawn and adjoining areas. There's property right now that's just to the west of Washington Park that would be ideal for an Obama Center and would also serve to regenerate and stimulate the neighborhood in which it would be located, and at the same time would not be taking away from public park property or the recreational needs that the local citizens need as well.
Well, that's a policy argument. I want to make sure we just button down the legal argument per the complaint that you filed, your organization has filed, why this is unconstitutional. I think you started to reference it before. It's because of the landmark dedicated park space designation of those 19 acres, yes?
Well, that's right. Well, that shows that Jackson Park is not just another piece of vacant land in need of development. It's something that has been recognized as a unique accomplishment of Frederick Olmsted. Jackson Park in Chicago is often equated with Central Park in New York.
Where does the lawsuit stand at this point?
Well, the city has finally answered the complaint, but they've also filed a motion to dismiss the complaint on the theory that the federal court doesn't have jurisdiction to hear it, and that the plaintiffs don't have standing to file a lawsuit.
All right, I get it, Herb. All right. So, what do you want?
We're saying that the whole deal was conceived in secret. It was never, the decision to build anywhere on the south side was never open to the public. It was secretly contrived between the mayor and other parties.
Herb,
and the mayor, as you know, was the former staff assistant to former President Obama. So he has a personal interest that has nothing to do with the public interest.
Herb, what neighborhood do you live in the city?
Well, I lived in Hyde Park for about 20 years.
All right.
I'm presently living in Lakeshore.
Okay. Well, so what if we got your property taxes lowered? Would that satisfy you? Could we make this ugly lawsuit go away? What if we did that?
No, it has nothing to do with taxes per se, although there's going to be a misuse of public money by supporting the construction of an Obama Center in Jackson Park as opposed to building it on private land that's available for development.
Well, Friends of the Park got the Lucas Museum idea yanked, thank goodness, because we sold that land to them for $1. What do you think your chances are?
Before we filed the lawsuit, we researched the law, and we determined that there's actually a number of Illinois laws, including what's in the Illinois Constitution, that prohibits the use of public land and public property for a private purpose. And so we think legally that we're on sound ground, and that and since the only issue is whether the Obama Center should be built in Jackson Park as opposed to any other location that's available on the south side, it seems to me it's very simple.
Well, Herb, these things are sometimes a bit complicated. Let me try another. If, say, someone were to get you a signed copy of Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, would that encourage you to dismiss this ugly legal business?
No, it wouldn't. But let me tell you, this has nothing to do with Obama. If this was like the Trump Presidential Center, would that make a difference to people?
Yeah.
You're right. That wouldn't last for 2 seconds. It wouldn't even.
Well, the issue is not the identity of the person.
Yeah.
It's the location of the construction.
Right.
Jackson Park should be protected against anybody trying to take away what is dedicated recreational public park property for some personal use.
All right, Herb, you're driving a hard bargain. I get it. You're dug in. What if we cut you in the concessions at the city casino? What if we cut you in for a couple of points on that? Is that now? Are we getting somewhere? Can we?
That's another issue. If they want to build that city casino on public park property, we'd raise the same objections. The public parks are for recreation and to serve the needs of the local citizens. It's not for commercial development.
What about
it's not for the purpose of generating revenue?
What about a marijuana dispensary? That would be recreational in nature.
I begin to wonder whether this whole idea of legalizing marijuana is not an attempt to dull the minds of the electorate so that they won't realize what's being done to them behind their back.
I think that's already happened. I think we're past post on that, Herb. All right, well, he is Herb Kaplan. He's the president of Protect Our Parks. He's a principal guy. I mean, we couldn't do a deal here today. I'm a little disappointed.
No, all I'm saying is I just hope people remain alert enough to realize that there are laws to protect distinguished landmarked areas like Jackson Park. And if we allow Jackson Park to be trashed, the next thing is they'll want to build a Disneyland somewhere on the lake shore.
Don't give them ideas.
Yeah. Well, that'd be great. A Disneyland on the lake? Sure, that'd be fun.
Well, right. Well, like I say, some people get carried away by these ideas of how to make money, and they do that at the consequence of destroying something else that's more valuable than making money.
Yeah, they'll bring back Riverview.
Well, Riverview was a great asset,
back in the
but it
day.
wasn't on public park property.
Herb Kaplan.
Because I'm looking at pictures of Jackson Park, and what about that Japanese garden just south of the Field Museum? They're not going to touch that, are they?
Well, we don't know, because buried in among the prints of the city ordinance is that the Obama Center has the opportunity to expand its footprint as needed.
There you go. You give them a mention, they take a foot.
That's it. It's the camel's nose kind of principle. Yeah.
That'd be a good.
Once you violate that principle, there's nothing to stop them from taking over Jackson Park or for taking over all the park systems and commercializing.
Well, I mean, it'd be a good spot for solar farm. Solar panel farm. I think that'd be nice there. Herb Kaplan, president of Protect Our Parks. He's taking on Obama land that developed the 19 acres in Jackson Park that's scheduled for development by the vaunted Obama Foundation. Herb, thanks so much for joining us. The website, protectourparks.org, if you want to follow the case and or get involved. Herb Kaplan.
Yeah, and I suggest people look at it because there's a lot of interesting material that we put on there that people will find informative and instructive.
All right. Herb Kaplan, president of Protect Our Parks. Herb, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the opportunity.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs. Get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat, you do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido, Chicago anesthesia and pain specialist, will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
If you're not pleased with your child's progress this school year, now's the time to consider enrolling your son or daughter in St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. With an ongoing enrollment program, it's never too late. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual, and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. Find out more about St. John's Northwestern Military Academy ongoing enrollment. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Herpes L works when you have a cold sore and works when you don't.
If you haven't tried this for cold sores, you're missing out.
Herpes L penetrates deep to treat cold sores.
It really works. I apply it as soon as I have one.
Herpes L also protects against certain triggers caused by the sun and cold with added SPF 30 protection.
I use it in the winter and in the summer to help protect against flare-ups from sun damage.
Herpes L works when you have a cold sore, works when you don't. Use as directed.
It's important to buckle up your kids.
I know.
Sometimes car seats can be complicated.
I know.
And if your child's in the wrong seat and you get into a crash,
I know.
It could lead to a serious injury.
I know.
So you're 100% sure you have the right car seat for your child's age and size?
I don't know.
Don't think you know. Know you know. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Make sure you have the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
What if being in recovery from a mental or substance use disorder was something we proudly showed the world? Millions of people are in recovery, sharing hope and support with family, friends, and community. Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's actually really been helping my system and my lupus and my gastro problems. So I'm actually very happy with the product.
Acid reflux is pretty much under control. That's why I keep taking it.
I have noticed, I'm sleeping better since I started taking the Balance of Nature and all the other things I'm doing.
I can't believe how wonderful your product is. I listened to you guys on the radio for years and years and years, and I listened to all the testimonials. I go, well, it's probably time to give it a try. And I've been just happy as can be ever since.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
My name is David Hochberg of Team Hochberg, and I have exciting news. To provide listeners with more financing options and lower rates, Team Hochberg is now originating loans for Homeside Financial. Team Hochberg Chicago-based loan officers, support staff, and in-house underwriters allows us to process and approve loans within days of receiving complete files from our borrowers. I'll be highlighting proprietary loan programs like doing a cash-out refinance up to 95% of the value of your home with a minimum credit score of 680 and construction to permanent loans on both FHA and VA loans. Team Hochberg's new toll-free number is 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-563-2843. Or visit our new website, 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-563-2843. Or visit our new website, 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 6676119, NMLS 1124061.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, by popular demand, we're going to play this clip again that we played earlier in the show. This is David Webb. He's a conservative talk show host on Sirius XM, and he had some fungible identity politic lobotomized CNN contributor named Areva Martin on the show.
Yeah, I've seen her before.
They were talking about the basis for employment. Should it be meritocratic? David Webb talking a little bit about his career, and he's accomplished what he's accomplished because of the work he's put in and the experience he's built up, and these are the things that should be determinative when you're talking about opportunity. And Areva Martin disagreed, and then she learned a little something.
I've chosen to cross different parts of the media world, done the work so that I'm qualified to be in each one. I never considered my color the issue. I considered my qualifications the issue.
Well, David, that's a whole nother long conversation about white privilege and things that you have the privilege of doing that people of color don't have the privilege of.
How do I have the privilege of white privilege?
David, by virtue of being a white male, you have white privilege. This whole long conversation, I don't have time to get into it.
Areva, I hate to break it to you, but you should have been better prepped. I'm black.
Okay, then I stand.
See, you went to white privilege. This is the falsehood in this. You went immediately with an assumption. Your people, obviously, or you didn't look. You're talking to a black man who started out in rock radio in Boston, who crossed the paths into hip-hop, rebuilding one of the greatest black stations in America, and went on to work for Fox News, where I'm told apparently blacks aren't supposed to work, but yet you come with this assumption and you go to white privilege.
David,
that's actually insulting.
It is, and I apologize because my people gave me wrong information.
Yeah, my people.
Yeah, she throws the underlings under the bus.
Using race to make political points. Hello.
Well, I mean,
she has egg on her face this morning. She looks like a fool.
If the white privilege isn't applicable to David Webb based on his skin color, then why is it applicable to somebody else based on their skin color? Right? So go back to the substance of the argument he was making. If it's not privileged the way that he accomplished what he's accomplished in media, as he was describing, then why would it be privileged for anybody else to follow the path that David Webb did? And he sort of misses the point. But her apology is just getting it wrong because, her people misinformed her. Her apology is not the specious nature of her argument. But it's exposed anyway, which is why everybody needs to hear this and share it liberally. It's the only thing that I suggest today you do liberally.
Thank you so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical producer, Quinn McCarthy, our associate producer, and to you for listening. We are back here bright and early at 5 a.m. Now let's get into the newsroom and check in with headlines here at home and around the world. Here's Mike Scott, who's wearing a Christmas sweater, I see.
It's just ugly sweater day. That's all.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't get the memo.
You didn't know that?
No.
All right, well,
I'll play tomorrow.
Next time we'll tell you. Ethics reform discussed at a mayoral forum. Prosecutors win an extension to indict Ed Burke. Governor Pritzker